Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, FLEXBOY, back again on the FLEXCAST Podcast. I sadly do not have my co-host today, but I have a very special guest again. He's a repeated guest, second time coming on. Glad to have him back. He just released his mixtape, DotComEra. All right, I'm here to give a big round of applause to my man, Sean /BLANKS.
Thanks, baby. Hello. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you are listening to this beautiful podcast.
Yes, very well said. Whew. It has been a week of controversy and your album coming out and lots of other people's albums coming out and a lot of people announcing their albums coming out. So it's been a huge week, but you know, we started talking about your album, my guy.
Yes. Let's get into the meat of the matter.
So last time I checked, when I was checking the views and all that, got 16 tracks on this joint. I'd say most of them fire. We'll get in depth in a little bit about that, about my opinion. And probably the album reaction video might be out before this, but if it's not, I'll also kind of like might give my score a little bit in this. Yeah, let's see it. Also, it's 55 minutes long. Pretty lengthy track list. Pretty great though. And also it's six singles were released before the mixtape came out. Last time I counted. Or I'm counting American Devil, even though you remade that.
I would count that. I'd count that, even though it's not the same at all. I'd count.
I counted that when I went back.
Yeah.
And so far, since you released it Wednesday and time of this recording Sunday,
yes.
You're really fat, like double digit wise. Like, yo, you were ranking up. Like last time I checked, I think Incognito Mode has the most plays on SoundCloud. I think it's got 70. It's going up there.
It's going up pretty quickly. Yes. It's gotten some good feedback, and it's nice. It's a nice experience.
Yeah, I can't wait when I'm one day when I'm not like physically tired to finally make the dance video for that song. So I
felt that.
Be
Thank
out
you.
soon. Yeah.
You'll be a beautiful dancing man. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Because I tried to do it after work one time. Not the move. It was not the move. It was terrible.
Idea.
Well, it was before your mixtape came out. Actually, I was trying to do Twitter famous. That was not the move. Well, not the move.
That one's
because it's like the first
tricky.
part. Yeah, because Twitter famous, it was like, all right, the first part, do a gun dance move, like all that, pow. And then after that, like once I started trying to do fast dance, it was like sloppy, and I was like, I don't like this. I can't
hard
post
song,
this,
bro. It's too difficult.
Yeah, very good song though.
Ready for it.
Oh my, but dude, hilarious though when you released as a single, and I heard Mason, your friend Mason,
Rawlings. Mason Rawlings. Beautiful man. We love him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mason. Go follow Mason Rawlings at Mason Rawlings.
Please. Even though he's been getting a lot of drama, he needs much love,
I don't think he's been getting a lot of drama. I think he's just kind of alive. Mason's alive.
True. Yeah. We're glad Mason's alive, show him some love, all right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you mentioned it, but the first track, we got Boomer Anthem, single that's been released since I think 2018, late 2018. I think you released it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
2019, late 2019.
Okay, late 2019. All right,
it was not 2 years ago.
Maybe I was thinking of Fashion Week. I think that's what I was. Or not,
American Devil. You're thinking of American Devil.
Oh, okay, American Devil.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah. That was
because that was I remember because it was XXXTentacion.
XXXTentacion, brother.
Yeah, because I remember that was in the intro. But you left that in there. But
I left that in there because it was kind of pivotal to the song.
Yeah. But to go back to Boomer Anthem, I noticed some lines I didn't really recognize while it's been out. Because I haven't really decided, because like, even though we haven't gone to like the finalization yet, my favorite song is Fashion Week, because that chorus is just fire. But
It's in my heart, brother. It's in my heart.
yeah, dude, that chorus just gets like, dude, it's one of those songs you can just sing along to, and it's like fire. It's like the
Thank you.
it's
Really
like "Don't
appreciate
Stop Believing" by Journey, dude. Like, it's like you can sing along with that song, like just the way like you can
Makes
sing
me so
along
happy.
with it. It's just like that. It's just like, okay, I can jam out, you know. And then like
Nice, nice.
even like in the middle parts in there, it's like the beats fire, with just the light like little bounces and taps of like little, I don't know if there's xylophones or bells or whatever.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's just
Funny.
like it, like you can bop to it, but it's not like super hard. It's just like, you know,
That's
you
what I
can bop
wanted.
to it.
It's truly what I wanted, just a bop, not necessarily a hard song. Just a bop.
Yeah, but going back to
Love a
the
little
intro
bop.
song, but yeah, going back to Boomer Anthem, it's just like, you know, comes in strong. I gotta say, like, going for the theme of this one is really good. I've realized though, after listening to the other songs on this mixtape, it kind of went lower on my ranking. Not because it's bad, just because like all the other songs I were amazed were just like, I liked the beat or the the lyrical content in it, or just the way I could perceive, like I could, you know, it was easy for me to coherently tell what you were saying. Like,
I mean, I would say so, yeah.
But still, Boomer Anthem.
Yeah, I'd say Boomer Anthem was more meant to be. It was always kind of meant to be the intro. Like I never made it and intended it for it to be something else. Like, it was always meant to be the intro to this project. I just never. The project got delayed a million times, so that was the big thing. But it was always meant to be like the first track. Like, I think as an intro, it works. And by itself, people were like, "This is cool." That was a big response I got. But I think I kind of agree. Like, next to all the other tracks, it's not as important. Doesn't stand out as much because it's not meant to. It's more just meant to be this introduction. Like, hey, this is what you're in for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Serves purpose.
But I like I said, it's a really good intro track just to get you in it, because it's like, oh, hyped up, like, whoa, okay, wait, let me comprehend all the lyrics.
Yes.
But yeah, like, going back, I almost forgot, man, the delay, man. Like, I saw what you were keeping up and like posting about, and I saw the stuff you were or at least what you posted, what you were dealing with, man. Jeez.
Very Kanye move of me.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy. Like, if this man says a Kanye move, we might be a little trouble here.
Yeah, as it was not a beautiful, not a good move on my part.
I was like, oh no, is this thing not gonna release till like the end of summer? I'm like, oh shoot. Oh boy. But
somehow worked out.
Yeah, but yeah, it was funny. I saw the one you said your charger got destroyed for your computer.
Funny. Yeah, well, what happened was I was mixing the album that day, and it was supposed to come out the Wednesday of that week, which I think it was the same week we had the podcast. And my charger actually broke in half for my laptop. And so I was like, awesome. Oof. So basically I can't be able to turn it back on until I get another charger. So I went out that same day and had to buy this new charger that has like 13 different types of chargers I can interchange. So I spent like $30 on a charger that was really supposed to be like 15. So that's what we do. That's what we do in this life for music. It worked out.
Dude, get it out.
I did release it on time, so it worked out. The final time I said it's coming out this time came out. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. Oh, because I was like, all right, I released the podcast, and I was like, all right, it's gonna come out a few days later. It's like, oh, it's gonna be perfect timing, you know. And then next thing you know,
I'm gonna lie about that.
but hey, the most important thing is you got it out. And speaking of, dude, our last podcast episode so far, last time I checked, it's close to 40 views. So y'all need to give it more love. Still
40. A delicious 40 views.
Dude, we need to get it up to 100, my guy. Oh,
I can agree. Maybe this one will get this one to 100.
Yes. Get this one to 100, bro.
I'll buy the next person I see food on the street. I'll buy them food. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
You hear
my
that?
thing.
Blank said he'll buy the next person
100
food.
likes. The next
100
person I
likes.
see-
Might be a
100
little
likes.
bit of a stretch, but
Pushing it with
Yeah.
100, you know.
but yeah, but going back to the album now. Since we talked about the delays a little bit there.
Yeah.
So Boomer Anthem, great track. Before we started recording this, the skit, it's hilarious. Y'all need to check it out. It's basically, I'm not gonna give too much away, but it's him being a radio host and just, he just says some stuff and it's hilarious.
That was yeah. It was that one was essentially made, I'd say, over a year ago, and just sat on my computer for about that amount of time.
Oh wow.
And I finally decided, like, maybe I should use this. So it serves zero purpose, but I think it's perfect in every way. So go check that out.
Yeah, go check out the album again. But and then the song right after that, HTTPS, dude. Oh my, that song is so good. It's close. I think on my album reaction, I think I said it was like third. It was third or second on my list. Because dude, you and shout out the Gunner and Doubt It, dude.
Gunner Doubt It, my man.
He comes in so hard, dude. So hard.
Nice.
Proud
Oh
of
my
him
God.
very much.
And that beat is just like again, dude, the production, I gotta say the production, A1, dude. Like A1 for the resources, that you're using, dude. Like, honestly.
Approval.
Yeah. Or as case, I would be like, ego, spite. My ego has been satisfied.
I've been satisfied.
Yeah,
Thank
but
Thank you.
yeah, it's HTTPS, great song, great content in the tracks. I would say for the album, I was surprised how you interweave different subjects and themes into the album, and just because
Thank you.
like the theme of the album, you mixed in like all the internet era stuff,
Yeah.
all the political stuff, like in each song. It wasn't like, oh, this song's about internet stuff. Like somewhere close to that, like the Incel song and
That was the most internet, I'd say.
area. Yeah, that was the most internet centric one. And I think like content wise, I think I like that probably the most.
Thank you. I love that one. That's definitely probably my
Yeah.
favorite out of all of them.
Yeah. And area code error. Jeez,
Try one
I
more
can't
time.
speak.
There you go. Try one more time.
Error code 404, dude.
Area code 404.
Area code, dude. Yeah, that one's like internet themed mostly. And you also kind of talk about some celebrity stuff and pop culture stuff in that one too,
Yes.
which I thought was pretty interesting. And
It's about the lovely state that I live in.
what?
Georgia.
Yeah, and the chorus, I do like going back to that one. Like I was like, all right, I don't know, I'm gonna check out this song again because I was like, because this was also kind of like the lower half of the mixtape for me, and then I went back to it. But I do have to give credit, the chorus and like the
end.
the singing, the background like chorus and the choir just in the background, dude, is
Yes.
top. Like, dude,
Thank you.
it gave me like some like the background singing itself just gave me like Valhalla like feeling. Like it was just like Halo, like Halo chorus themed, like a little bit of that. Like it was just like natural and godly like sounding.
Thank
it was
you.
kind of
Thank
like
you. Yes. I
like,
wanted
dude,
it to be
it
that
sound-
way. Yeah.
it sounded like you were ascending to like internet like godhood, dude.
I wanted it to be the peak. I wanted it to be the peak of sort of the album before the decline into the final track. I wanted it to be like, this is the highlight of the internet. Here's the peak. The rest is down from here. Not like quality wise, but like hopefully not
Yeah.
quality wise.
Yeah. Yeah. I do, even though you do say, American Devil is good. It's a good song. Going
Thank
back
you.
to that.
Did I do
And
you justice with the beat once more?
oh well, I was gonna go back to that. I don't know. Maybe it could have been my 2018 mind, but like don't get me wrong. Still, production, like dude, the production on this whole mixtape, great. Like I said, just a little bit. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's just me because I was used to all the other songs having like xylophone, like bells and whistles, and you know having like a not a soulful feeling, but like just a lighthearted.
Yes.
Not lighthearted, I guess, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. It's like a lighter feeling.
Yes.
And maybe American Devil is kind of like, it wasn't so hard like HTTPS, and Incognito and like a few others.
Yeah.
It's still like I do remembering it now. You remastered it well because I remember the beat being more dirty and like more
grimy,
not static. Yeah, grimy.
Yeah,
grimy is a good word. Yeah,
untapped, unmastered, unfinished. Now it's delicious.
Yeah, and was that I'm interested when you did that, like when you put the new lyrics in that song. Was that like near the end of mastering this whole album, this mixtape?
That was. So none of these songs were recorded in order by any means.
Yeah.
I'd say American Devil was maybe like it was in the last run for sure, but it wasn't the last song I recorded. I recorded it probably a week. Like the vocals probably it was written forever, but I recorded the vocals probably a week before the tape was released. And I really just wanted to do the same. I wanted to do the justice to the original that I enjoyed, you know, the parts about the original that I liked a lot, but I wanted to redo it in the ways of the parts of that I hated. And that the reason that original version is now privatized and is never going to see the light of day because I wanted the newer version to be a little more meaningful. And I think,
Gotcha.
I think I wanted it to be an appropriate closer. I didn't want it to, you know, it's not meant to be a track that like punches you in the face with how hard it hits. It's more just meant to be consistently this one energy the entire time, you know, the whole way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe that's it, because a lot of the songs on the mixtape, it's like, all right, there's this beat, all right, you're writing it, your flow, you're writing it, and then boom, changes with like little like hi-hats or something in the background, or like you change with the flow a little bit. It's funny, my speaking of HTTPS, going back to that song, it was funny, the beginning when you start out, I laughed at your first couple lines because not that they were bad, but in the reaction I noticed the flow was kind of like, I hope you don't take offense to this, but like, you know the song Get Low by Yin Yang Twins and
I don't. Wait, I do. Yes, I do. That's hilarious.
And so like there's a flow where one of the twins, he's like he gets in this weird little like pocket where he's like, I'll get you in your way, and like,
oh my god, that reminds you of Get Low. That's hilarious.
And that's what that first part. And so I laugh when I go back to that track because it's like, yo, wait, he sounds like one of the Yin Yang Twins right now. Just get in this pocket. But it was good. But it was good though. It was good.
Thank you. I take that as a high compliment. I remind you of that song. Reminds you of Get Low, which is hilarious to me. Yeah, that's the last song I would ever think of when I'm thinking of that song. I'm glad that hit you like that. I really appreciate that, actually.
Just the way, like, just that flow, not like the whole song in general. I'm just saying that flow right there.
But that's funny because I didn't even interpolate that, but that's funny. That's really funny.
But speaking of songs that inspired this mixtape, I listened to the playlist you made.
I did make a playlist, yes. Yeah,
this man made a playlist. Check it out. It's pretty interesting.
Each song on the playlist is in order of the songs on the mixtape.
Oh, okay.
Each one is directly what inspired that song. So like, for instance, the first song on that playlist is Thug Tears by JPEG Mafia, which is the song that I would say inspired Boomer Anthem the most out of, I mean, you know, there's been plenty of songs that inspired the mixtape, but I wanted to do the ones that inspired each individual song the most, you know, like kind of what I interpreted. And that like definitely JPEG Mafia. I don't think this mixtape would not exist without JPEG Mafia, because until I listened to him like 2 or 3 years ago, I really didn't have that kind of sound inside myself. So all credit to my influence with that. Listening to him definitely gave me a lot of inspiration for the sound that I have now.
Gotcha. Okay. And kind of writing on that a little bit. I felt like, so on this mixtape, I was surprised about how many songs weren't like singing. Like I was surprised, like not a lot of the choruses were like they're not like Fashion Week choruses where it's like singing. Which is not bad, by the way, because I was expecting like the total opposite, kind of like chorus wise and stuff.
It's funny.
Which was good. Like you like what you would call it, you like destroyed my expectations, like, because I was like, okay, like chorus wise I was like, all right, maybe like I feel like he's not gonna have like I knew you weren't gonna have like all the songs singing, obviously, but I was like, all right, he does like this rapping thing and like this rapping kind of thing he does. Well, it's not rapping because like you can kind of tell. No. Yeah, it's like a weird little combination. I can't think of what they call it. I don't know. I just call it yelling. Yeah, because you mix in like yelling and like stuff where you like slow down mid flow.
Melodic yelling. Yes.
Yeah. Not like not like Juice WRLD or nothing. Which rest in peace, by the way.
R.I.P. Juice WRLD.
Yeah. And not like Polo G, where you're literally like it singing. I don't know if you've listened to him, but especially his latest, I was like,
that's funny.
Yeah. But it was very interesting and it really flipped my head. But my point was WW, Worldwide Web.
WW, you're missing a W.
Oh, am I missing a W? My bad, y'all. WWW.
Include the dot. It's WWW dot.
I don't care.
WWW dot. But that song, I like that song for singing. It was really good, I thought. And
thank you.
And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought it was inspired by, if I'm going by the playlist, I thought it was inspired by the Pyramid song by Frank Ocean. It
was Frank Ocean inspired, but
it wasn't that song.
Pyramids inspired Fashion Week. Fashion Week was
okay.
Yeah, Pyramids is definitely the song that I went to the most when thinking of I want to make something like this, for Fashion Week. But for www. For that one, really just Earl Sweatshirt in general was the kind of what made me realize I can do a little more minimal things. I listened to Earl Sweatshirt for a long time, but I never really thought like I could make any type of lo-fi-ish beat, or anything like that. I'm such a weird way to describe that beat, because I wouldn't even call it lo-fi, but it's I'd say not Frank Ocean, Earl Sweatshirt inspired that song the most out of any other artist.
I thought I thought the beat was kind of like backgroundish, like
yes.
It definitely it was definitely more low key than the other beats on this record.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated. So I appreciated even on Spotify, I have my equalizer basically, like, lyrics all the way up and bass all the way up too. So even with that, it was just like, so even with that, because I've been listening to Popsmoke and like just other hard hitting people.
Of course.
When I'm not listening to you, I listen
Popsmoke.
I've been listening to him and IDK and
IDK is beautiful.
Oh yeah, and then I've been one more person. I've been listening to this one Jimi Hendrix song for like on repeat for some reason.
Out. That's awesome. Shout out. I love Jimmy.
Even though I'm pretty sure it's like one of his more popular ones, it was just recommended to me on his like
all Jimi Hendrix is good. Jimi Hendrix, my man. All of it's good.
Yeah, but what was I? Oh yeah, so WW is a really good singing song, and like I said, Fashion Week obviously just banger chorus and singing, and you know your compadre on that track or feature, Jackson does a really good job.
Jackson Rhodes, baby. Go follow him at Gamma Punch Jackson.
Follow him. Y'all need to tell him to like get on here so we can interview.
Hell yeah, brother. Get a Jackson interview. Why not?
Even though I should DM him still, but you know, still, y'all encourage it, okay? But
tell Jackson to be on the podcast.
Yes, and another featured song, Username. I thought that song was inspired. I could be wrong too, but the Jailbreak a Tesla song.
Yes,
I thought
that was right.
Okay.
Yeah. Injury Reserve, very much inspired by that.
Which I didn't realize until like, well, I did because I've watched I go back to your Instagram story just to look at, because I was looking for updates or whatever, and just seeing what you were posting. I saw that one of the members of Injury Reserve passed away. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Groggs. Jordan Groggs of Injury Reserve. Yes, I've met him before. I've talked to him. He's a very beautiful man. He was a very nice man, and he actually listened to Fashion Week. Funnily enough, he heard the song, and so it's kind of sad. But rest in peace to him. Injury Reserve. I mean, this tape wouldn't exist without Injury Reserve or people like Injury Reserve. So, I figured it's important to give credit to your inspirations and your influences, and that's why that playlist exists. Just kind of commemorating them,
homage them.
Yeah, very much an homage.
Yeah, but it's also interesting because there were a couple of people that we both listened, or at least I saw on the playlist that I've listened, or a couple songs I have listened to before. The Denzel Curry song Sirens or Zirons, whatever it is.
Whatever
it's called. The one with him and JID. Not my favorite song off that album.
No,
but
not mine either, but I love it.
Yeah, but
it's a good song.
I was trying to think of what song that like related to. That was a hard one for me to figure out. That was
50. That was for 50.
50? Okay.
Mainly because of the chorus on that one. 50, I don't know. 50 is a weird one because for me, the beat, as far as the production goes, nothing really inspired that. I mean, I'm sure stuff did subconsciously, but for me, I wasn't thinking about any type of song when I made that beat. But as far as like my lyricism and my flow on that song, I very much tried to channel my inner Denzel Curry for that song. And so it's kind of why like Sirens, I was thinking of that when I was rapping on that song. So that's why I credit that one. Yeah, they don't really sound the same at all, but that's where my head was.
Yeah. But to go back to Username for a little bit. D-Wayne. I thought his verse. At first, D1. Oh, is it D1? Okay, my bad.
Devontae Cantrell, D1.
I thought it was pronounced the way I said it because I saw his Instagram name and I thought it was kind of pronounced like his Instagram name.
D1.
But D1. Okay. D1. At first, like I'm gonna be honest, like at first when his verse came out, like the first time I listened to that song, I was like, like I didn't think it was a bad feature verse, but I was like, I don't know if it blew me away, and I was like, okay, and then I went back to listen to it, and I was like, I listened to it a few more times, and I was like, I'm getting used to this. I like this feature. He comes in hard, and
I think he does miraculously. I love his feature on that.
Yeah, it just took me a few listens to get used to it, and I was like,
I totally get it. Me and him, he's a member. He's the drummer and a vocalist in the band Open, the local band Open, and
okay.
I knew that he and Jackson have worked together on a song before, and I knew that he wanted to rap more, and so initially, I considered certain people for that song because I needed a feature on that song, or I wanted a feature on that song, and I looked around and I just didn't really find anyone that wasn't wanting me to like pay them money to be on the song. So I was like, well, this isn't really really this isn't genuine. If you want me to pay you to be on this song, so I'll take this somewhere else. And you know, me and Devontae had been hanging out for a minute before then, and so finally I hit him up and I was like, hey, you know, you want to rap more? I'm gonna give you this. And we recorded it in 2 locations in Monroe, in a parking lot, in 2 different parking lots in my car. We recorded it in the back of my car in the hot sun. We were both sweating.
Oh boy, I can imagine.
And he recorded his verse, and he did amazing. He is an amazing lyricist. The ending of his verse, the last part of his verse, was written in my car because we didn't have a last part. And I think the way he can just write things on the spot is incredible to me. And I'd say Username Password's probably, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely probably like, it's one of the highlights to me on that tape. I love that song, and I love his features.
The song itself is one of my favorites. And but to go like lyrically wise, he was great. Like
I was think just he touched on every base that I needed him to touch on. I think you know, I can't speak for him obviously about like why he wrote it, but like everything that he says is very true, and I think it's very reflective of the time right now, which was written and recorded. And I really needed that contribution to the to that song, because you know, like I had my part in it, you know, but I needed to feel complete, and I think he kind of tied it in a nice little bow at the end with that. And I really I like his verse a lot. It's probably I'd say that might be my favorite feature, but I think Jackson still remains my favorite feature.
But yeah, like don't get me wrong, like lyrically wise, it was great what he said, and it was very interesting what he said.
Don't you shit on my boar, I'll kill you.
But no, but not if I kill you first. But where is like, oh yeah, so like lyrically what he said in there, like when he was saying like he was named after a slave owner,
last name
came
white
came
man,
from
the only generation before me. Now they call me homie.
Yeah, now
That's
they call
beautiful.
him, like don't get me wrong, he like when I first listened to that, that caught my attention. I was like, okay, this is a feature, dude. All right, he's coming in. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
But yeah, don't get like I'm just saying, like he execute, like he had his flow. He had his flow, you know. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's because it's like maybe it's because it wasn't dynamic enough or something, or I don't know. Maybe just I haven't processed it all in yet. But maybe my opinion might change, and I'd be like, all right,
I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you.
Jeez, but yeah, so I still, like I said, like the feature, like the track. I really like the beat of Username Password.
Thank you.
I feel like it compilates, in my opinion, I feel like it compilates all the sounds of like some of the other beats and just brings them together. And it's like,
it was made, I'd say like 40% out of Windows noises, like noises from the Windows startup page and everything. Like inside.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of sounds that come from like a Windows computer. Yeah, like if you listen to the background, you hear like clicking and like literally like the doo-doo, like all that stuff. It's all there, you know. So yeah, like a good chunk of the background noise that isn't drums is Windows noises. So I figured that was appropriate given the title and the theme.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure it's that song, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought some of the lyrics, like some of the lyrics you say, like they're funny, but in a good way. Like it's not like Lil Pump where you're like, oh my freaking God, shoot me. It's funny, that part, the end, I don't know if it's the end of your verse or maybe a little bit before that, but you say, I'm gonna give these fake pussies a CAT scan.
That is the end of my verse. That is the end of my verse.
Okay, that is that verse. Okay.
I'm gonna give these fake pussies a CAT scan. Means
dude,
I'm gonna expose
that is my. I think that's one of my. I mean, right now, I feel like that's my favorite lyric at the moment of this.
There's another lyric in that song that I want to give homage to, and it's because it's very true. I say in that song, I'm the first straight gay icon.
Yeah. That's what I thought you said. I was like, no way, he didn't just say that.
I'm the
like,
first straight gay icon. That's exactly what I said. Because fuck homophobia. I'm straight and I'm a gay icon. I don't care. Fuck homophobes.
Yeah.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song.
Yeah, great song. But
Some interesting lines in there for sure.
yeah.
Goddamn right.
It was interesting. Oh yeah, but like one other line I realized from listening to Boomer Anthem, I didn't realize the one, and I've heard you say, I remember you saying the Nicki and Remy Ma part, but I've never like listened to the whole part, because like when I listen to songs, usually it's like, all right, I'm trying to listen to lyrics, and like sometimes a beat, like I'm like all of a sudden paying attention to the beat a little bit more, and I miss a few things or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I've just, while I'm trying to listen to this throughout, trying to like patiently like listen to it throughout, I realized it was like, okay, that's kind of like a double entendre, because her and Nicki Minaj had beef, and it was like, you know, they have like kind of different styles or whatever. And then some other stuff is hilarious, because we'll get onto it later. You have a line about people listening to Logic. A few other, oh yeah, 6ix9ine. You have a line about 6ix9ine and Logic.
Line about 6ix9ine, Little Dicky.
Oh yeah, I'm Little Dicky.
Hicks bump trap in an F-150, which I think is funny.
I think you explained that line to me off air. I don't know if it was off air or while recording, but you told me that with the F-150 line was kind of like a jab at baseball players, kind of, or football players.
It was very much a jab at baseball players. it was a jab at the school I went to, the high school I went to. It was very much a shot at just the culture of, you know, growing up in Georgia and living in between the countryside of the South and the metropolitan urban side, and how hip-hop culture and redneck culture collide in a very weird and disturbing way. And so Hicks bump trap Travis Scott in their F-150s, and it's very confusing to me, and I think it looked stupid. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Since you speaking of Travis Scott, I felt like some of the maybe I could be wrong, maybe this also could be JPEG Mafia inspired, because I noticed while listening to them, and like, you know, obviously Travis Scott, you know, like they have those parts in the songs where like they enhance their voice with like a certain effect or whatever, or like they shout, and like
That's me.
I don't know if it's area code 404 or if it's EXE, but there's like
I think it might be EXE.
Yeah, there's a part where like you or we don't need your
that's not me, that's Devontae. That's
okay, that's username password.
That's
my bad.
Devontae's hook.
My
that's
bad.
Devontae's hook, and I love that hook. It's a beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, that part. I was gonna ask if that was his part.
That's him.
That part's
That's
fire.
him.
I thought that part was great.
Amazing.
That part's great.
That's amazing. The whole thing's great.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Nick. The whole thing's great. Whole thing's beautiful. Shut up. Whole thing's amazing. Thank you. The whole thing's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. The whole mixtape is great. Overall.
I really appreciate that. Actually,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, like I really do. Like honestly,
Thank you.
if I didn't listen to this almost to death for the album reaction and you know, just trying to consume all the lyrics and see all the things in this, like I wouldn't be tired of it right now. I'd still be bumping it if I wasn't like, you know.
Awesome.
Because it's like I don't know, for me it's like, all right, like you know how like if you listen to someone sound too much, it's like, all right, I need to like listen to someone else for a sec. And so I'm like,
no,
all right,
I'm glad. That makes me feel good in a weird way. Like I'm glad that you've listened to me enough times to be tired of me. I think that's amazing, because I always feel the same way about that with every person that I ever listen to and enjoy, you know. So it's like that's awesome. That's awesome that people listen to me like that to where they get tired of it, and I'm like, I like that. I like that feeling.
Yeah, and I already put the songs in my, you know, my Spotify playlist. I already put the whole album in there. I mean, not the whole album, the whole mixtape.
God bless. God bless.
Yeah, and I have it up there next to Popsmoke. Just funny enough.
That is right where it belongs. Thank you.
Right after Popsmoke, you just start playing.
All right, dude. Love me some.
But yeah,
Pop-Smoke,
R.I.P. But yeah, but going back to your other feature, Doubt it, dude. The 2 features he has on this mixtape, I
One was
think
a little
are.
secret. One was a little surprise. I didn't tell anybody about.
I know he told me when I had him on the podcast, he was telling me he
Yeah.
did some instrumentals for you and another band,
He
the
did a
Clover
lot
Girls band.
more. Yeah, he did a lot more than just those 2 features. I mean, he Gunner helped every live drum you hear is all him. All the live drumming on Riot Gear Talks and on Incel, those are both him. He was supposed to originally the drums on HTTPS were all going to be acoustic, but like we decided together, like he suggested that they be digital because they just didn't mesh together. But somewhere on my computer are 3 separate different takes of live drums over that song. So he drummed on 3 songs. Just one didn't make the cut, and end of the day, I'm really happy with how his drums sound and his drumming turned out. I think he's incredibly talented. He's an amazing drummer. And funnily enough, he has on Control C, he actually his voice is in the background. He did a low guttural scream for me, and I decided to take that and fuck with it, and I put it in the song in the background and panned it left to right, left to right, left to right, just to make it a little creepier. And so if you listen during that song, that the growling is actually that's Gunner.
I noticed when I because that was honestly one of my, like, before I started really getting into username password, like, because like the way I listened to the mixtape, I was listening to it like on my car rides, and like a little bit before I tried listening on my own, and but then I was just like editing other videos and stuff, and I feel you. But yeah, but doing life stuff, but I listened to Control C in my car, and I realized like the screaming when I heard it was just on each side, like it would be on my left, and I was like, okay, he messed with it a little. He messed with like where the screams are coming from a little bit. I could tell.
Very glitched out, and I wanted it to be that way. That was the whole plan. That's why Gunner gave me that scream. I was like, hey, if you scream into the mic for me, I will fuck with it and put it in a song. He was like, bet.
And I guess to ask, are there any like other non-named like features or
I guess kind of. I would say Mason's contribution to Power 183 is an unnamed feature, just kind of a little sprinkle out. I remember a year ago I hit him up and I was like, hey, send me just fucking your answer to any question ever, and he sent me that, and I was like, awesome. So I put that in the song, I put that in the skit. And the same thing happened with Twitter Famous. I was like, I need you to be angry about something, and he sent me that vocal clip that's in that song. And so those are his 2 secret little features. And my friend Eden is sampled on this tape, on the song World Wide Web, or WWW. He sent me this audio clip of him playing guitar in I think 2017, like December of 2017, like a long time ago. And I still had that email, and I wanted a guitar sample, and I didn't want to take it from a song. So I took that, like, just him on his phone recording him finger picking guitar. I took like a section of that, slowed it down, pitched it down about like an entire octave, and it became a bass, and I kind of used that throughout the entire song. So the bass, quote unquote, in WWW is my friend Eden, actually his guitar playing, and so that's kind of his secret feature too. But other than that, I would say everything you hear other than those things are me.
Yeah.
Shout
out. Shout out to Eden and Mason, and again all the other names, even the name features.
Yes.
And to Gunner, and the Gunner doubted I'm trying to say it right. D1.
Yes, D1.
D1 and Jackson.
And Astromondo.
Oh, and Astromondo.
Credit to Astromondo. Astromondo, the beautiful man himself.
Yeah. Would you say, like, even though Dowda was telling me y'all spent a lot of time working on his EP that he dropped, and your mixtape, and other projects y'all have, and y'all are thinking about going live together and doing shows and stuff once COVID,
yes.
lifts.
Once COVID lifts, we're actually going to be playing live shows together. We've been planning this for years.
Yeah, and so, but would you also say like kind of those kind of songs are inspired by like Injury Reserve and them working with JPEG Mafia and Code Orange and all that?
I would say, as far as my tape goes, most definitely Injury Reserve's connection and JPEG Mafia's connection to hardcore music and to metal music in general really influenced me in making this tape. And just being friends with Gunner for as long as I have been has really influenced my sound over the time, because I mean, like, I'd say up until about like 3 or 4 years ago, I was not really into any heavier music of any kind, but it wasn't until I actually made the connection between aspects of hip hop and aspects of hardcore music that I began to enjoy and appreciate hardcore music. So I think in always some way I've wanted to make something like that, you know what I'm saying? But for me and him, the demos I made for him, I produced for him, those are very much just pure hardcore, those are everything he wanted me, he told me what to do. He told me, this is what I want this to sound like. And so that was just, that was truly my first experiment in pure hardcore music. Whereas I just hit the piano. Whereas my tape is a little more of a fusion between a bunch of different genres, including hardcore,
Yeah. Yeah, and I really I've never thought about the connection either until I started listening to obviously what Dowda was doing. And like I've always been like I like I talked about in our episode, my first introduction to that was Skillet, sadly, or happily. So, I don't know.
Mine was Evanescence. Mine was Evanescence, so it's okay.
Yeah, so I've always been kind of entwined in like the different genres there are in just that aspect in that genre, like the subgenres in that genre in itself.
There's so many.
Yeah, and just realizing how good of a blend is, and then obviously other obviously now mainstream rappers like XX-Tentacion was he was kind of doing his own thing. Like he had some really like
sure
he injected some elements of hardcore metal, like screaming wise, and sometimes
emo,
like certain beats, emo, and just how the beat would go, and other people like you said, like that we talked about, JPEG Mafia,
and, for sure.
Definitely,
Denzel Curry, gotta give credit to
Denzel Curry.
Denzel Curry.
I'm definitely a big fan of Denzel Curry.
I am a massive fan of Denzel, and I think also there were liner notes that I released a little before I released the mixtape, like I'd say like a few hours beforehand, that I wrote out like a week prior, that credit Injury Reserve, JPEG Mafia, and Denzel Curry as the 3 artists that really made the tape possible. The influence for why I wanted to make a hip-hop album came from everywhere. I'd say like the first tape I listened to that made me want to make a mixtape was probably If You're Reading This It's Too Late by Drake. And I don't know if you've ever heard that tape in full. I
haven't heard it in full, but I have heard snippets of songs and that.
Gotta listen to it. It's easily his best work in general. It's kind of sad that it's a mixtape and not an album, but like it's
that's what I've heard.
And I love it, and I think that was like what really gave me confidence. Like, okay, I want to make something like this, And it just went from there. I went through so many different weird processes.
And Doubt It. Like just the making of this, it sounded like from what he was telling me to make his EP, it just sounded like a lot. Like he was telling me all the techniques y'all had to use to record like certain sounds,
so many
record
weird
voices,
and
like
things.
headaches and all that.
We recorded in the corner of his attic. We recorded in my car in the woods. You know, we recorded it everywhere we could. And you know, to record his drums, we didn't have a, you know, we don't have a lot of money. We just have like, there's one AI, this audio interface that has 2 inputs, and so we just plugged in a mic for the kick and an overhead, and we taped the overhead mic to this unused cymbal stand, and we shoved the kick mic into the the hole that was cut out of the kick drum, rested it on a pillow, and we just recorded. You know, we just did what we could, and we recorded guitar with 2 different people with like 5 different takes of guitar. We just meshed them all together, and it came out surprisingly decent depending on what we were working with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why I definitely got to give props, because I like, dude, because I mean, I kind of know a little bit of I somewhat know of your struggle a tiny bit, because, you know, I try to make my own beats for my videos, and like, you know, shout out again, thank you for letting me, you know, use the Bullfrog beat as one of the main beats in the montage, dude, which came out, dude,
Thank you.
That montage came out so, like, I mean, I feel like it was really good, and I felt like I used your beat pretty well.
I liked it. I enjoyed the usage of it a lot.
Yeah, I hope it was up to your standards, because
It definitely was. Definitely.
yeah. And then, I mean, Rick was really like, it was your beat, and then I just added some little, like, since it was like the video game, y'all should check it out. It's an old montage of Destiny clips I had from the first Destiny game, and since it was like a futuristic game, I added some little like space sounds and little claps in there. And and I just thought even with their like drums, and I mean, even with your like guitar sounds with the speedy guitar, it still sounded so good, and it just went with it, and I was like, yes.
Cyberpunk. It is cyberpunk. Is very much what Bullfrog is.
Yeah, so
I would also classify my mixtape as cyberpunk. I think it's a fair thing to say.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was interesting. And speaking of, is there a reason why you didn't add Bullfrog into the mixtape? Is that because it's kind of like its own thing, or you like should?
We're not going to talk about the reason.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
Okay. I got some things planned.
All right.
No worries. Don't worry your little head about it.
So, all right. So,
Don't worry your little
guys,
head about Bullfrog.
we might have some more stuff coming out.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
All I'm saying is I made a lot of songs over the last 3 years that have not seen the light of day. So maybe some of them might. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You know, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, really just production credit. And but yeah, I just know how difficult, because like I understand, like, because it was so like, dude, I don't know if you talked to Dowd after our podcast. I don't know if he told you what transpired before that, but I was so frustrated that day.
No,
it
I
happened.
did not hear.
But basically I was freaking out, because I was like, all right, like it was my first time setting up a mic, like just a short story. Basically, I was trying to set up like a mic thing, because I've never like set up a thing with 2 mics or whatever. And it was like a different mic, other than this USB one. And yeah, I just ended up going with this one, because this second mic I bought did not come in yet. So it was like, all right, what am I gonna do?
USB mic, baby. That's what I'm using right now.
Yeah. So yeah, luckily this one got both our voices very well, and I'm very surprised that podcast came out as good as it did. I think.
I'm glad. I mean, it came out pretty well. I'd say it came out pretty well.
Yeah. And just to play with it, I added some meme. If you haven't watched it yet, y'all should check it out. Some memes.
It's beautiful.
Some meme sounds. Oh boy, dude, the intro of that is the funniest thing ever.
This is correct.
I'm surprised YouTube hasn't taken it down, because I swear I zoom in so far on that man's knife, because he was like, I'm a
Gunner is something.
Gunner, yeah, y'all.
I feel
Gunner
like
Dowd is something.
The impression that now that he's released his music, the impression that he will give off to the world is very different than the impression that he very much is. And
yeah,
I love the fact that you were able to kind of capture the beauty aspects of Gunner.
Right.
That man
Gunner
is my brother. I love him.
Yeah, Gunner's great. And hopefully, hopefully he'll get his fat butt over here to do some more podcasts. Because right now he is officially a co-host, but the man's needs to come to be. But he's got some real life stuff, so got real life responsibilities. So good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Going back to the mixtape, we got a little off track. But going back to the mixtape, overall, I think I talked about all the production aspects and the lyric. I mean, most of the lyrics. We're gonna talk about some other lyrics in a sec.
We can do a track by track if you want.
We kind of did, but we went for the features and like some of the standout songs a little bit. But we can we can go for a little speedy thing right here. But we got time. I know we talked about HTTPS. I think after that it's XEX. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Incognito mode is what comes right after that.
Incognito mode. Okay.
Yes, sir.
My bad. I forgot that's before.
On that song.
Oh yeah, the trumpet, dude. Actually, I almost forgot. The trumpet in that song, so fire.
I'm glad it came out well.
I don't know if it's because I don't know. I'm just a sucker for trumpets, dude, and
as am I.
Like
really, I really want to put one in there. Then I'm glad I got to play it.
Yeah, and I feel like with that, and just trumpets, or I don't know, something with I don't know what the class is. It's not brass. Percussion, is it? It's brass. Okay, brass. Making sure.
Percussion.
I know.
My fucking
sorry. I am not a musical instrument expert. I'm sorry, y'all. Please, you can kill me in the comments.
Why are you interviewing me? I'm fucking with you.
Oh boy,
I get it.
I know. No, it's all good. I'm sorry. Tired.
But it's a brass family.
Brass family. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, just something about with the brass family, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that in a song, bro, immediately it's gonna sound it's gonna sound grandiose. It just
my friend Matt Bedrooms, he has said before, and we'll say time and time again, if you have a saxophone solo in any song, it makes it better. In any scenario, it really makes it better. And I totally agree. And so I figured somewhere on this tape, because I play the trumpet and I love to play the trumpet, I figured I need to play the trumpet somewhere on this fucking tape. And so threw it in there, and I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to listen to that over again and try to make a dance choreography for that song, dude. But yeah, I gotta say, dude, just made the whole song to just sound more grandiose, and the chorus, dude, and that chorus in that song is, pretty good.
Love that hook. Love that chorus.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Something about the trumpet, bro. What was it? Oh yeah, so something about the trumpet, bro. So do you play the trumpet, right? Last time.
Trumpet is the first instrument I ever learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should say first.
I learned it in middle school band in sixth grade. Yeah, I can't remember, but middle school band, not the highlight of my life, but I learned something from it. Learned something from it, and I really did enjoy playing it for a long time. Put it down, and it wasn't until I'd say 2 years ago I picked it back up finally. And I mean, I should play it more. I just never, it's a loud instrument. It's don't want to wake up the folks constantly. You know what I'm saying? But I should play it more because I really do love it, and it really sounds good in any scenario. And so it's my baby. It's the first thing I ever learned. Wouldn't be here without it. So
yeah,
it's the trumpet, baby.
Yeah, and I remember on your previous tapes, I remember the trumpet was a huge component of the songs.
It was initially
first tapes.
Yeah, it was originally on American Devil, the original version, but it was not very good, and I just kind of didn't want. I just kind of felt like it didn't fit this time, and so I took it off because it's not a jazzy song, American Devil, by any means. It's more of a punk song. More of a punk song, I'd say, than it's a jazz song. But there were plenty of plans I had, but I think it turned out. I think the trumpet will be used. It will definitely be used more in the future. So
Yeah, I definitely like those type of songs. I started listening
Yeah.
to what was it? I was listening to Kanye West's old stuff. For some reason I just felt like doing it. And
Yeah.
I went to the Throne album with him and Jay-Z. Dude,
Beautiful.
the beats on that album.
Underrated. Underrated.
Underrated. And dude, they are fire as hell. I'm like, bro, Kanye West
that
like went into that. But
Kanye.
yeah, and then that it kind of reminded me of that, and also reminded me of Young Thug's Hot song.
Because the trumpet.
Yeah, okay, it
I
does
can-
because of the trumpets,
can see
but
it.
I mean that's the only comparison really, but
Yeah,
still
no, it's a compliment regardless. And comparing me to Young Thug is a compliment anyway. So
yeah. Now you're just gonna match the
Take it.
flute, and that's what you
I've got a quarter. I don't know if that qualifies.
yeah,
I'm not gonna bust that out anytime soon.
but yeah, but that I really do appreciate the trumpet on that song, and it was funny enough. I really thought that was gonna be one of the more techno related theme songs, but then like it was funny. You referenced I think incognito mode like only once or twice, which I mean I
Yeah.
get like you're not supposed to make the whole song about that theme, but it was kind of
It's
not appalling, but it was just kind of like, oh, okay, all right, we're going like, and that's what I
It's-
figured. Like, okay, this
yeah.
album's like the songs are mixed with the techno and the
Definitely
political
kind of mixed in
themes.
with the virtual themes. I'd say that song is a lot more about hypocrisy and privacy, you know, in the
Yeah.
internet age we live in, because I don't think privacy really exists anymore. And I think the whole thing I was kind of going for with that track was you know, just like the people that will run through someone else's dirty laundry, have dirty laundry themselves that they've forgotten about. You know, it's sort of just being like, well, you know, you've left yourself open to the same things that you just exposed that person for. So you're just kind of a hypocrite, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the whole message of that song. So it's kind of, it's definitely related to the virtual world.
Yeah.
It's just not very descriptive of it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and I think there's a line I'm trying to remember. Had it in my head. I just literally had it. What was it? I think it was regarding what you just said, like people being hypocrisy. It was like, oh man, here we go again, and it was like, maybe that might be a different.
Talking about the bridge into
Yeah,
the
the
beat
bridge.
change.
Yeah, into the beat change. Yeah.
Oh, now how about that? Everybody runs away when you spit facts. Yep. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, sort of the whole message behind that is just, you know, people assume when you tell them the truth a lot of the time that it's intended to hurt them, like it's an insult, but it's just honesty. And I think that especially now in an age of, you know, it's gonna make me sound like an old ass, but like in a time of the internet where everything is very public, emotionally and, you know, just in general, to be honest and not to seek attention in that honesty can come off to a lot of people as being an asshole. And it's like, no, I'm just telling you the truth that you already know, you just don't like it, you know. And it's just something that sort of, you know, that's kind of where the hook comes from. I built that song around the hook because I had that hook in my mind randomly one day. I just came up with that hook, and it was like, I have to use this in something. I don't know what yet though. So I had that beat, and it just oddly enough perfectly worked with the tempo on that beat. And I decided to put the hook in there because I love that hook, and that was definitely the best hook I've come up with so far, I'd say. And the themes of the lyrics definitely center around that, you know, like I don't do this, I do that, and you can tell them what you want, but it's never gonna be sufficient. You know, if you're one thing, you're always gonna in their mind you're supposed to be another thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like honesty with yourself, and honesty in general is the best way to go about handling, I think, any situation, especially on the internet. And if you have dirty laundry, if you have some secrets, if you've done some things in your past you're not proud of, air them out. Don't keep them under lock, because you're going to become the next fucking headline, and then that person that canceled you is going to be the next headline, and so on, because everyone's a hypocrite unless they're honest.
Yeah, I told myself if I ever be a celebrity or be just in some position of high power or popularity, I'm gonna air everything I've done, bro. I don't care if my family, I don't care if anybody gets offended.
That's what this tape
or if some people hate me, bro.
So this tape is for me. It's just me airing it all out, letting it go. It's like, it's out in the open. Do with it what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Much respect, because a lot of people want to do that, but yeah, because I'm usually like, if somebody does ask me, it's like, bro, did you do this? I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, that happened.
You fess up, it makes you look better to that person and to everybody else in the long run,
Yeah. The only time I don't, unless it comes between, like, if it's work related, no, I ain't telling nobody at work about that.
I'm telling you boss shit,
Like, yeah, well, that, and also it's like, people like, you could like turn away clients, or like the way I work, it's like client based or whatever. So it's like, say some weird crap, you don't scare them away.
You'll lose sponsorships and clients, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I put a thing at the beginning of this saying, if you get offended, please.
If you're triggered.
Well, because dude,
trigger warning.
It's crazy because it's like recently, like everybody, like if they're big, especially YouTubers, they go after.
Triggered. Am I offensive to you?
Because it's like, just a lot of people like go at people's like financial like pillars in their life. And, just the way like how they try to put food on their table. I'm like, bro, like especially like, even though this is like stupid, like stupid YouTube drama, like these people go at each other's like sponsors and junk. I'm like, bro, chill out. Like
that's my way of life.
Yeah. But yeah, Incognito, definitely good song. Dance video coming out hopefully soon.
Dance video.
Like I said, I just gotta finally freaking find a day where I'm not freaking physically tired.
Felt that.
So yeah. So next song on the mixtape, Riot Gear Talks.
This one's a goodie.
Oh yeah, this one, dude, the hard way of coming in, and the way it builds up, like with the screams and
it's the pure
Gunner in the
pure
background.
Punk song, this one. It's a pure punk song, this one.
Yeah. And at the end, when you're talking about like when you're repeating like city's on fire, and like, dude, just. And this one, like honestly, like, and even like if y'all see my Instagram story, I praise this man. I literally ate this man's. Oh boy, but
very nice.
Yeah, but no, like I said, like even though like I said, like we don't agree on the same things, but we're able to have a conversation, and and like I said on my thing, you explain the stuff that believe in. I think pretty well, even though I don't agree with some of the stuff, but I still feel like you explain it in a way where I can understand and like be like, okay, he's not an idiot or like
that's what I want,
a douchebag. So yeah,
I wanted to. I like putting things in digestible terms so that people don't get the wrong idea too quickly about something, or like assume anything, and that way they can't assume anything about what I believe. And with Riot Gear Talks, I had that phrase in my head for a while. Like it doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm sure this happens to literally everybody, but I get phrases like in my head that just stick, and it's like Riot Gear Talks. This was before anything ever happened, like years before anything ever happened. Stuck in my head. I was like, that's a cool name. That's a cool song title / album title / whatever, Riot Gear Talks. I don't know what it means yet, but we're going with it. And so I wrote the first few lines of that song
2018, I wrote middle finger to the sky, fly birdie to the hilltops, brush fires in the wind, but in my city, riot gear talks. And sort of saying like the city's on fire, you know what I'm saying? And riot gear, police and riot gear is talking rather than words, rather than, you know, peace. That's what's talking, is the riot gear. That's what's speaking up. Your actions are speaking louder than your words. That's what I've interpreted.
The symbolization of when you have police with riot gear on, you know.
Yeah, it's like you're not
either defending
talk,
something,
you know?
or they're, you know, they have to,
They're
you know,
there to
do their
fuck it up,
job,
or
or they're gonna mess you up. Yeah.
Well, you know, and it's like
whether you're being an idiot rioting, or if you're just an accidental protester, you know, or
anything.
With the conspiracy theories, you know, with you know them intentionally attacking people, you know, and all that, and the incidents and stuff like that. So
and for me, just as time went by, I rewrote many drafts of this song because it needed to be the right one, and I eventually realized it was never going to be perfect, no matter how many times I rewrote it. So I wrote how I felt in the moment, during the George Floyd protests, during the Breonna Taylor protests, you know, which are still going on, you know. And it's like at the heat of that, I wrote the rest of the song after that first few lines, those first few lines that I had forever, you know. I wrote the current version, which really I'm glad that it came out this way, because it's not, I think it's too easy, and I think a lot of people are going to interpret it as me sort of being like pro riot. It's not. The song's not about that whatsoever. The song is very much about every aspect of what's going on right now, you know. It's talking about people being upset that they can't get haircuts because of coronavirus, people being killed in the street, you know. It relates to it relates to my you know, normal American life being disrupted, and it relates to, this is what's wrong with this country, and here's all the things that need to change about it. And so it's like, yeah, riot, you know, throw your things, throw your bricks at walls, you know, but wake the fuck up. Your country's on fire. Let's get moving, you know what I'm saying? Let's start really doing something. And so I think it's my personal, not my favorite out of all of the tracks, but it's my personal favorite because of how connected to it I feel, how much it kind of encompasses everything. This was the one I was most excited to release, was this song, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I'm really happy with Gunner's contribution. He didn't write his verse down for that breakdown. I literally said like, hey, do something right here, and he just freestyled that. Like, he just did this crazy scream and talked about, you know, literally beating the shit out of someone that killed somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, it came out really nice, and I'm really happy with the way this one ended up, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely and yeah, it was cool to see Doubted Gunner
Absolutely
do something. He had a different style to these songs than what he had on his demo, which I'm very which I thought he did really well, and definitely a cool thing on here to make it kind of unique to your mixtape.
Yes.
Yeah, just it fits in with your mixtape. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is just Gunner slap, like it's just not a random verse. It's like it meshes well with the track. It's not like these, you know, you see like these people collaborate and it's just because, you know, their name has staying power or something, or people thought it would be a cool collaboration, but then it just ends up being, oh, this person said something on this type of beat, and it's like,
no, I mean, like me and Gunner, you know, because of how long we've known each other, because of how close we are, like it was inevitably whatever we work on is going to be like part him, part me, you know. And I think both of the songs, I mean, all of the songs that we've like worked on together, but especially the two songs that he has a feature on, I think he works very well on it, because, you know, we work well together, and I really enjoyed making those songs with him, for sure.
Riot Gear Talks, great sound, great track, great conscious. I mean, this whole mixtape is a conscious mixtape, and
I'd call it a conscious album. Yes.
Yes. It's not as
conscious hip hop
as in the hip hop game. People wouldn't say this is an ignorant mixtape. This is for them. This is like all of it's
Just
conscious.
honest. It's just honest.
Yeah. It's how you feel. It's what
Mhm.
how you experience certain things, and
Yeah.
you're writing them, you're speaking them, you're speaking how you feel in these tracks.
Mhm.
Yeah. So very good track. Next we got .exe.
Mhm.
Very interesting song for me, just to get my opinion out there.
Go for it.
It's not a bad track, but it's not like one of the top tracks
No.
in my personal favorite. But I still think like it's a good track. It's a good
Yeah.
track. It definitely I will it's not like I won't bump this as much as like username and password and
Oh no, of course, yeah.
incognito mode or any of that, but it's still a good track. And like I said, I have this whole mixtape in my playlist, so I mean I don't usually do that unless I feel like, hey,
Aw, that's awesome.
I'm honestly most of the time, I mean there are some things where it's like, okay, I like the beat of this song, I'll put this in here, whatever.
Yeah.
Might delete it later, but no, this like if I put a whole album, like dude, there's only a few people I have all their albums. NF, Weekend,
Yes.
I mean I have an album's worth of AC/DC, so you could say.
Awesome. Nothing wrong with that.
Who else? Denzel Curry. His latest album, not the Cloud Cobain album, or the one before this. The
Taboo.
I forgot. Taboo. My bad. Yeah, Taboo.
Yeah.
The Ricky album I really like.
Shout out.
And then, yeah, shout out to Denzel again.
Zoo, baby.
This mixtape, yeah, Zoo.
Awesome.
Actually, yeah, Zoo. I don't know why
That's
I
what
called
it's
it
called.
Ricky.
No, it's okay.
Zoo. I mean, this mixtape.
Awesome. Awesome.
I mean, I think that's it. I only have like
Sick.
7 people or 6, yeah. So, out of like millions of other people I listen to. So,
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Even though I mostly listen to hip hop and rock, and I'm particular on my rock. Like, dude,
As am
if
I.
I find a rock song that's good, I'm gonna add it immediately. Like,
As am I.
so
Yes.
AC/DC, also the child to listen. So
I mean, it's classic. AC/DC is
Yeah.
classic. You
Yeah,
can't go wrong
so-
with that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and even like hip hop now is starting to get particular because a lot of it is just starting to be like, the same, and it's like,
I think that's just
Same
because it's become
auto-tune.
easier to make.
yeah,
So
that
more
too.
people can make
That
it,
too.
and so the market's oversaturated. Like quantity is so far past quality right now that you have to be particular, otherwise you're going to get a lot of very bad songs.
Yeah, so I am now like starting to get particular on my rap. Like, if I don't like the beat,
I've always been particular about it.
Yeah, I am for the like. Recently, I was like, okay, I'm finding all these good artists, and then recently, it's like, oh, okay, I'm hitting a stop here. I'm like, hitting a barrier here. I'm like, okay, last one. All right, the baby. All right,
Playboy
you
Cardi,
make it.
bro. Playboy Cardi, I love that, man.
I'm not the big Playboy Cardi fan, but we'll get to that after.
Everybody. It's not for
Yeah.
everybody.
There's a few songs I like, but we'll get into that after this. We'll talk about albums and stuff, other people's stuff.
Absolutely.
If we,
But .exe, yeah.
.exe,
It is so.
it's a good song. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I like the beat. Again,
you.
production props. Good song.
So
yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I got you. For me, I think this one, right? Your talks are directly connected. Like they are, I would say, like part 1 and 2 of one another, and the reasoning for that is I've pictured it in my head as Riot Gear Talks is the beginning of a fight, and the .exe is the fight. It's like the riot, And originally this track was supposed to be, I wanted it to be like exactly 2 minutes or even like 1 minute and 30 seconds long. Like the reason it doesn't really stand out in terms of the tape is because like I really didn't want it to be this long, drawn out, epic, amazing track. I just wanted it to be kind of a fight essentially, and then it's over.
Yeah.
It's as gone as quickly as it comes, and that's kind of what I wanted to have that feeling about. And it is the only track in the entire track list that uses a
direct sample of police brutality, and it uses the sample of George Floyd being kneeled on and being killed, and it uses that at the bridge. And I think in my, like, that's a controversial thing to do, and I understand that, but I think for me it needed to be in there because I think people need to be reminded that this happened, and I think it needed to be highlighted that this is still going on, and that you don't get to forget about it. You don't get to just leave that behind, And so .exe for me is very much, it's a riot of a song. It is literally like the country is on fire, it's written, and it was written like right before everything happened. Like it's weird how much it came to fruition after I wrote it. Like it's weird how honest everything happened afterwards. But it's written from the perspective of someone being killed by the cops. It's written from that perspective, and it's written from the perspective of what happens afterwards. The final line on that song is "I am the law." It's talking about the protesters and just people. I am the law. You can you're not the law. Like I am the people of this country, and that's it phases out from there. And that's kind of what I wanted out of that song, was just this angry rupture of energy. And it's one of a few songs that includes a down-tuned guitar. It's one of a few songs that includes a very angry riff throughout the entire thing, and it's definitely one I'm really excited to perform live.
I'm interested to see how these tracks, on that note, I'm interested to see like how they execute and show scenarios, and like I'm very did a poll on Instagram about what songs you want to see music video, and I recommended HTTPS. Bro,
that's definitely gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. HTTPS definitely.
Awesome, dude. Because I just imagine Gunner in the background on the drums, or just like with you, like just in the background, just banging it out, and then him when he comes in, it just boom, just zooms in on him, and just dude. I imagine it would be gnarly, but it's gonna be gnarly. But yeah, so.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, .exe, good song.
Got some good things planned for that one.
Yeah, interested to see that. But .exe, very good song. Beats good, lyrics are good. Like you said, contribution. A little bit about George Floyd, and it's like a continuing of Riker talks. Which, by the way, like the I liked how you had like, you are now entering the .comEra, and like there would be something, either you would say a little bit something, or like the song would start like perfectly like right after. I gotta give you props on that, because like sometimes I didn't even realize I was in the next track. I'm like, oh wait, shoot, am I in the next track already?
I wanted it to all flow together. So it didn't feel like 55 minutes like
yeah. I think the only time I like knew when the track started, I think it was like HTTPS. Right after that, incognito mode starts, and I mean I don't mind. I'm just saying, I was like, okay, wow, okay, trumpet's coming in.
Completely different vibe change.
Yeah, vibe change from like yourself, or I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I heard a girl say at one point, there was a girl voice that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of
all of the voices that are saying things throughout the in between tracks. They're all robots. They were all a text speech generator that I used. None of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
None of them are me. The only time any of them are me, I say there's a phrase that I repeat throughout the whole thing, and it's "you aren't really here," and I whisper that a few times, but that's about the only time that I'm there. But the rest of the time it's straight up robots, and I wanted that. I wanted the robotic, weird Siri voice throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's funny you thought it was me. I appreciate that.
Well, no, I thought it was you with
Means I
like
have
a
a good voice
robotic
for the internet.
effect. I guess,
Means I have
yeah.
a good voice for the internet.
I thought it was you like deepening your voice and like adding a robotic effect to it, but okay, interesting. Siri, but okay. Next song is Twitter Famous, which he releases this as a single because he didn't put the mixtape.
Last single.
Because you felt kind of bad for not putting the mixtape out. Which
Yeah, I was like, wow, that was very loud.
Yeah,
so I was like, here's some free songage because I feel bad. No, this song was always kind of meant to be a single. Just a lot of things happened, and I'm glad I finally got to release it as one. It's a very fun song. It's just about, to keep it short and sweet. It's a song that I think is about something that I've never seen a song really about. And it's Twitter culture and cancel culture.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The initial title for this one actually was cancel culture, but then I figured that's really edgy, so I changed it.
Yeah,
so I made it Twitter Famous. Yeah, cancel culture is a very edgy name, so
I was gonna ask why Twitter in particular, and I was like, and now that you said it, even though I kind of already thought Twitter was like cancer because I just got it, and dude, the stuff people post is freaking retarded.
Oh, it's terrible. It's a wasteland, and I think I've never really seen a song talk about how much of a wasteland Twitter is, and that's kind of what it's kind of what I was talking about on Twitter Famous. It's just the type of people that are on there, the way that they think, the way they behave, the hypocrisy of it, and just it's a negative space, and I don't know why I have it for marketing, I guess, but like it's definitely the most pointless of all social medias, I would say.
This is correct.
I felt like it's a very overhyped social media. It's very stupid.
Yes.
Dude, honestly, it's not going to give you any exposure, I swear. I don't have any followers, and I got it like a couple months ago. Like, it is not worth it. Personally. Unless like you post on your Instagram and you're like, hey guys, I got a Twitter now. Maybe then you might get some followers, but no, it's trash. It's trash.
Garbage app.
Yeah. But yeah, I did like the song though as yeah. But this was it was good. It was good. And I feel like it still is like, it's still like in the mid tier. It's a little above. I think it's a little closer to the higher tier, but it's still in the
put it in
mid
C-tier.
Yeah, it's in the C tier. Yeah,
Still love it. I mean, they're all my children. All of these songs are my children, but I still love it.
Yeah. Next song we got www. or World Wide Web.
I don't care. Doesn't matter to me, brother. Triple W. I don't know. I don't care what you want to call it.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, I already commented on the song. Great singing song. I really thought it was a good break from the very hip hoppy feel.
Yeah. Yes, I wanted to sing on more than just like 2 or 3 songs on this whole thing. So this is definitely one of the instances where I decided, okay, I'm gonna rap on this, but it's gonna be calm. I feel like at that point in the track list, there needed to be I think it's, if I'm correct, that's the 8th song, and that's the halfway mark of the tape. And so,
you
if I'm correct,
are correct. Yep.
Yeah, it's the 8th.
Yep,
and,
you're
it's
correct.
The halfway mark, so it needed to kind of be like a little breath of fresh air for a second, because there had been so much high energy anger on the first half that I kind of just wanted to take a second to just breathe.
Yeah.
And on that song, though, like most of the song, I'd say like 70% to 80% of that song is samples. It's not like I didn't make a lot of it. I mean, I made the drums, some background noises, but I mean, the whole melody that you hear is a sample of a Gil Scott Heron song.
Okay.
It's the intro to I forget the name of it. It's I think it's The Day We Lost Detroit is the name of the song. It's an old song, but it's a beautiful song, and I love it, and it has that beautiful intro. So that's the whole melody, is that Eden, his sample, tuned down to fit the key of the song. And then there's, just to throw it off a little bit, I mean, I remember you said it seems very ambient, and it's kind of what I wanted. I took the sound of wolves howling, like 25 wolves howling was the name of the video or something. I took that video, I slowed it down by 50% and just like shoved a million different effects on top of it. And I think it made this really disturbing sound in the background of the whole song. And it's kind of what I wanted to give the impression of. Like, it's a pretty song, but I think it needed to feel a little uneasy.
Yeah, it's
because
like it's like a beat. Like, you hear your voice like contrast with the beat, and like you said, interesting. I didn't know those wolves because I thought it was just like a sample of like a sound wave. Yeah, it's like yeah.
They're so broken, I can't even tell you.
Yeah, it feels like I'm next to you, but then the beat, it's like surrounding you. It's like,
thank you.
It's like around your voice. Like it feels like I'm next to you, but like we're in like this simulate, like, you know, like the startup of like VR headsets where it's like you're in like this little small panel and like there might be a character in front of you or something. It feels like the beat is that whole black area just around you, and the echo just...
That's awesome. That is exactly what I wanted. Thank you.
It's a weird way, but that's how I feel when I listen to that song.
Makes me so happy. Awesome. Thank you.
You feel like Joe Rogan on DMT. You're like, except like chilled out. You're like, whoa.
You feel like calm, right? But you feel isolated, right?
Yeah, it's like you're in the forest. It's like you're in the forest.
Yeah, it's like you're in Slender Man, the game.
Yeah,
that old ass game.
Oh my god,
you're in that fucking game. It's like that.
All the weird sounds.
You know, it's like yes, and then that weird distorted guitar at the end that I play. You know, I threw that in very last amount. It's like, this needs guitar for some reason. And I'm very, you know, I wrote it. It was written, I want to say almost 2 years ago. Like the verse, the rap part was written almost 2 years ago. It was written a long time ago, but it was written during a very vulnerable period of time in my life, and I wanted it to feel as alone as I felt back then. That's a hard feeling to recreate, you know, 2 years later, for sure. But I mean, like, it was the thing you telling me that makes me feel like I accomplished it, you know. So, appreciate
definitely.
Very much appreciate that.
Like I said, like, you know, again, I'm gonna say this for a millionth time. I swear this is gonna be a meme, but just the way like you're able to like make it sound like it's coming from different angles, and like it just sounds like you're in this wave. You're just you're like in the little bubbles, you're like in those little shield bubbles in Star Wars. You're just surrounded by that while you're listening to this. Awesome. Everything else is just doing its own thing. You're just like there. You're just listening to your own thing, but you still feel like
a million
it's
different things happening at once. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. Disorienting. Disorienting and weird. It's pretty much exactly what I described that track as.
Yeah,
and it transitions very beautifully into 50. I'm very proud of the transition. The transition is my favorite transition on the whole. The wolf noises going into that song. I think it's a good transition.
Yeah, and this is also, from my point of view, I feel like this is where the theme of the tape, it goes into the more personal, like a lot of subjects, other people, like this, like, beginning of the tape is like more of what's been going on recently, it feels like, and more of like the political, like the racial politics that are going on right now. It kind of dealt with that more, and then I feel like here it's like the halfway where it like switches into the more other you know, topics of like suicide and loneliness and depression.
No, for sure.
And nature.
For sure.
And like you said, I think like I said, this part, yeah, I didn't realize it changed song until like, you know, the 50 beat starts coming in. I'm like, oh, so this is what he was talking about, how like kind of the songs are changed up a little bit.
Yeah,
Where you
just a
make it
little
like
bit.
the story, you make like a coherent storyline between songs and
They
transitions and
all
stuff.
talk to each other almost, you know.
And then going to the track, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about 50 on the last
Yeah.
one, like in pretty great detail, so I won't go too deep
Yeah,
into this
so-
one. But you know,
Anyways,
just I remastered it, you know, just made it sound a little cleaner, and I think it came out really well, and I think it works very well in the track list in the way that I've shoved it in there. So I'm very happy with how that one turned out for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you said I think 50 is a great song. Again, one of the singles that came out before this tape.
Yeah.
Great song. Yeah, Astromonjo does his thing. I think this is the one where he has the
Love
turtle
that verse.
line about plastic.
Yeah, his hook at the end, I love that. Love that
Yeah.
one. It's like save the earth, bro. And it's like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole message is save the fucking earth.
Yeah. And then also I think this one also talks about school shootings. I think this one
It was
touches 50.
inspired by the El Paso mall shooting and the I forget where it was, but it was in I want to say it was in Idaho. It happened like it was in the same week. In the same week, those two happened, and you know I felt very.
Was it the
compelled.
concert shooting?
I'm not. No, that was Las Vegas. No,
Oh yeah,
I
that was
mean,
Las
like
Vegas. You're right.
the fact that we're sitting here like wondering which one was which is like kind of the reason the song exists because of
yeah.
because of how fucked up and how often it occurs, and so like it almost seems it seems to skip on some people's minds sometimes. They're like, oh yeah, mass shootings are a thing that happens in America almost regularly, you know, and has only calmed down recently because other things are going wrong.
Yeah.
And so it's like I wanted that song to be on there to kind of remind people like, hey, this is still a problem. This can still happen. You're not safe. I'm not safe. Everyone needs to fix this, you know.
Yeah, I mean, now it's kind of funny because it's like everybody's feeling how now it kind of feels like, I mean, basically we're in a battle royale right now. Some places are, at least, especially
Portland.
Yeah, with the chop zone and people being stupid. Just
I'm talking about federal agents carrying away random people, but you know.
Oh yeah, that's who.
Portland.
I guess.
Portland, baby.
Which, you know, I don't know now. Like
Random.
there was some news that came out that they did supposedly identify themselves, but you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know all the facts behind that situation yet. I've just seen what I've read a little bit of so far. So, according to them, that's what happened. You know, and there have been photos of them supposedly with their badges out. So, I don't know. You know, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and you know, I believe this stuff can happen. So, you know, but yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Talking?
Okay. Anyway, but so.
Moving forward.
Anyways, yeah, moving forward. Next song, Control Plus C.
Control plus C, baby.
Yeah, this is one of my other favorite songs. Like
definitely the hardest one to produce.
Really? This is a hard. Wow.
A lot of weird shit going on in this one.
Yeah, I feel like this beat is it's
Chaos.
not my favorite one on the mixtape, but it's definitely like out there. Like I say, it's unique. I will say it's unique, and like feels like there's a lot going on within the background of
There's
the
like
song.
modem noises everywhere. there's a meme that I sampled and chopped up and threw around that I don't think anyone's ever gonna recognize. So it's
Yeah,
the
I don't
how
think I
can you-
recognize that.
How can you slap me meme?
Oh wait, is it the? Oh yeah.
How could she slap me? You know what I mean? That's in there. That's in there. You know, it's just chilling in the background. And
Yeah.
Gunner screaming. It's a terrifying beat. I call this one the soundtrack to the end of the world because it sounds like what I feel the apocalypse sounds like, and that's kind of what I wanted to have that one sound like. I was like, I need a song that just sounds like literal fucking chaos, and so that's what this one is very much that. And it's
Yeah.
lyrically it's about a lot of stuff, but I'd say mostly it is the most internet culture song on the whole tape. It's about quite literally just everything wrong with people right now on the internet and in general. And it's kind of saying you're all the same. That's why it's called Control+C, which I don't know if you know. Control+C on a computer, if you hit Control and C, it copies something.
Yeah, copies. Yeah.
You're all copies. You're copies of each other. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, you're clones.
Copy and paste. You're all the fucking same. You know.
Yeah.
Nobody's special in the end.
Yeah. No.
Soundtrack to the end of the world.
Definitely. Yeah. To the underworld. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one and Incel and Area Code 404 definitely most internet cultured ones.
We'll get to those bad boys.
Yeah, we'll get to those songs in a sec. Yeah, definitely one of my this is definitely on the higher tier of the I think this is on my higher tier of songs.
Awesome.
I think it's like maybe
one of my personal
fourth.
favorites.
It's like fourth, but still that's high because 16 songs.
Yeah, this is the one I recorded vocals for last because it was so hard. I don't know what the fuck that was. It was so hard to figure out how to like go about it. So this was the one I actually recorded this one the day I released the tape vocally. And I recorded a few takes for it. Like vocals like plenty of times. I just never was happy with any of them. So I recorded vocals for it like as soon as I got off work, went to my car, got my mic and everything, just fucking yelled my little head off, did all what I could. A lot of Brockhampton influence, a lot of clipping influence on this one. Just underground crazy random nonsense that I've listened to and found.
Wait, what?
And just wanted to put that all into my performance. And yeah, so that was if you wanted to know what the last song I recorded was, it was this one. And I think it came out I think funnily enough the vocals on this one came out possibly the cleanest out of all of them.
They
sound pretty great. I think they sound pretty great.
The lyrics, I think this is why I like it more than the beat. I think because the lyrics come out.
Like I love the lyrics, and I think the vocals came out very clean, despite being recorded the same day.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think because now that I think of it, this is probably like one of the cleaner vocally tracks on the
it just also has the least amount of effects out of any any song vocally, I'd say.
Okay. Actually, now you said it, I realize
Goddamn right.
Auto-tune.
I don't use auto-tune on anything, but
not auto-tune, but no
robot voice.
Yeah. There's not a lot of like ad-libs that are
No.
JPEG Mafia inspired or
just me screaming my little head off and rapping.
Yeah.
That's just that. That's that song.
And then next we got 2020. Kind of went over this on the last podcast, but it's one of the songs that deals with suicide and depression, and
there's a lot of
in your personal some personal stuff you went through.
Just a reflection on last year, and funnily enough, it kind of fits the tone for this year. So it kind of fits the tone. I'm glad it's named 2020 and not 2019 because I think it fits very well the tone of this year. I would say this one is my favorite out of the whole track list, I'd say. And this is the only song on the entire thing that I didn't really touch
from the original. Like I didn't really add anything, I didn't really take anything away because I think it came out pretty perfectly the way it was. And so I'm very happy. This is easily my favorite on the whole thing because it's just me. Like that, this song is me, and you know, I'm very, very proud of this one. And I'm very
This
happy
is correct.
that this came out. I'm glad it fits well.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know, maybe this was just me with my headphones on, listening to the song, but I felt like the vocals were more clear.
Yeah, that's
than
why I
the
didn't want to
original.
touch them. I thought they were perfect. You know, I think
Yeah,
there was nothing else I could have done. You know, I was like, this sounds great. You know, this is one
yeah,
of those
and,
lucky cases.
yeah, and then I don't know if it's just because of my mood lately, but I usually like this song is one of the most emotional songs that I have.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it was like, bruh, I like my mood totally because I was listening to this today while
Shifts.
mowing, and
Mm-hmm.
I just felt
It
my mood
shifts your mood.
change. I'm like, oh boy, and just
It's a
recent
very
stuff.
sad song.
Yeah, just and recent stuff that's been going on. It's just, yeah, no, man,
It's like fuck, you know. That's the emotion I get seeing it and just thinking about it is just fuck, you know.
yeah.
That's how I've always felt about it, but it's my favorite for sure.
Yeah. And then, yeah, next we got username, password. You know, back
We talked
to
about this one a little bit.
upbeat. Yeah, we talked about this one. Feature I said was
It's
good.
about growing up with the internet. It's about
Yeah.
being the generation that grew up with the internet, and it's about
Yeah.
why that
Goddamn
ended very
right.
badly for us. Why we are very stupid for growing up with the internet.
Yeah.
Because I think Devontae sums it up very well by saying, you know, like his opening line, you know, last name came from the white man that owned the generation before me, and now they're calling me homie. You know, it's like the internet
Yeah.
culture. Internet culture completely shifted that.
You
You know, it's like we used to hurt black people, and now we take from them and use it. You know, we take from their culture and we use it, and so it's like, damn, very, very insightful. And
Yeah.
it's about growing up with the internet.
It's very interesting. His contribution and combined with
Mhm.
your stuff that you talked about at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yours being a little more internet based on your lyrics, and then him contrasted with him talking more. I mean, you still do talk about what's happening politically, and then socially.
But he definitely goes in.
He
on
goes
the
more in
political
depth,
side.
and then like it's
I
from
think
his
I think it needed that.
perspective.
I think it needed that more. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and it really did pound in. Like it kind of like definitely this one kind of solidified. Like, I mean, I was already in like feeling like how it was, and then it coming from his perspective, it was like, wow, okay, this kind of like changes up a little bit. About when he comes in, it definitely like I said, what he said like really made me think for
One
a
of my
second.
favorite opening lines I've ever heard anyone do is his. Like I love that first lyric so much.
I was
good,
thinking
man.
about this song, and I was trying to think of like really good features that just come in banging, and this is not the thing, but like the kind of comparing it a little bit is kind of like, I don't know, like I said, we kind of talked about KSI in the last musically on the last podcast, the song Cap, I like that song because Offset just comes in pounding the beat, like dude, he is just flowing on that beat.
I think he does a really good job on that song.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe I don't know if you listen to Schoolboy Q.
Yeah. I definitely do.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I didn't want to.
No, I definitely do. But it's funny because I definitely do, because Num Num Juice was one of the songs that influenced me to make .exe, funnily enough. So yeah, I definitely listen to Schoolboy Q.
Yeah. His song "Floating" with 21 Savage, the way 21 Savage just comes in, like,
love that song. Yes.
Yeah, that song is super cool. Like it. But yeah, the username password, great song. And like we said, you know, very interesting, inspired by the Jailbreak a Tesla song.
It's like I wanted to make a beat that sounded like that song and sounded like Tokyo Drift,
And so I just wanted to make like the Tokyo Drift of the internet. I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I did like the hook on or you know, when you came in and like username, password, and like, you know, you went in password.
What you call yourself these days?
Yeah, very good hook. Next song we got Incel. This is my, I really funny, like comedy wise, this was my most anticipated track. Like
Funniest title I've ever made, for sure.
Yeah. I was very interested just by the name.
Yeah. Ironically, probably the most serious song.
Yeah, I know. It was so funny because I came in, I was like, all right, this beat's gonna be whack as hell, and my man is gonna go off. I mean, you still go off, but it like has a serious tone.
That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to name it something so fucking goofy that you have to go in with the wrong expectation, and then you have to be like, oh shit, this is real, you know, because that's how it feels. Like, incels are funny. I'm not gonna lie, incels are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But like, the fact of the matter is that incel culture is scary as shit to me, because it's literally it's popular. It's becoming popularized to just fucking hate women for things that aren't even their fault, and things that are guys' fault. You know, like it's not dudes. It's not women. It's just you. You're just a fucking weirdo, and you won't take care of yourself. And I wanted to make a song that just finally fucking said, hey, you know, maybe brush your hair now and then. Maybe wash your face. Maybe don't threaten to kill people, and women will like you.
Yeah, it's an interesting song, and you said some things on there, and maybe I'm looking into this too much. I'm trying to remember the part you talking about people going on Reddit and complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And having dossier, I think this is a song where you talk about like they have dossiers and or doxing people, I think you say, on the track, and it almost, and like, you know, I don't know if you reference somebody losing their job or they did it after their job or something like that, but there was recently a dude from Fox who just got fired because he was basically one of those guys. He was basically an incel.
That's
yeah,
funny. That's funny.
Because like, on his own time, he was like going like he was a writer for Fox, and like on his off time, he would be like making fun of people. Like,
makes sense.
He would make fun of women going on like Tinder and stuff, and like
wait, what?
The opening line to this song is "Incel boys be talking on Twitter, winning on 4chan, losing on Tinder." Yeah, you're winning in the wrong way. You're not winning in the right way, bro. You're winning online. You're not winning in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Recently with I don't know if you're up to date with the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith
I think it
drama.
released at a perfect time, given that. Yes, I am very up to date.
So, and I've just seen the memes of people clowning Jada, dude. Oh boy, and Will, dude. Rip Will, dude. Oh my god.
That shit sucks.
But dude, I've just seen the memes, the countless memes of Jada. It's like her saying that like entanglement stuff, and then people are, and then people added in the future
entanglement.
Yeah, entanglement, and then people added in the video of Future saying
entanglement.
She belongs to the streets. Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah, and then. Which, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird situation, and I don't even know why people even cared about it. But
it's a weird situation, and it's very sad.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, it's Will Smith, my guy. He's such a nice dude. At least
he's the most precious man in the world, and the fact that he never, like, he got cheated on. You know, you're not safe.
Yeah.
Nobody's
well,
safe.
I mean, you know, if Tupac was still alive, Tupac would have took her, bro.
Anyone, and then Tupac would have gotten cheated on. No one's safe.
Yeah,
no one's safe, bro.
Yeah, this song is a very interesting song. I don't know if it's crap. I forgot. There was a line I really wanted to talk about. Real quick.
Which one?
It was a tyrant. I don't know if it's in this song or if it might be in the next song we're talking about. think it might be area code 404. You talk about a tyrant virus. I think it's area code 404.
That's Control C actually.
Oh, that's Control C. Okay, I forgot, y'all. My bad.
Yeah.
I forgot I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to like see if that was a triple entendre. About the coronavirus, a reference to Resident Evil,
exactly.
and
not a Resident Evil reference. Not a Resident Evil reference, funnily enough, because as much as I enjoy those games, I don't know enough about them to make a reference.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the guy who the big monster guy in the second game, I think. I'm trying to remember his name. He gets infected by I'm sorry y'all for all the Resident Evil fans, but the tyrant, that's what he's freaking he's literally called the tyrant. But the virus that he gets is called in the movies they make all the zombies T-virus, but I think in the games it's like he's the one infected with the T-virus, which makes him a tyrant.
He's got the fucking he's the tyrant,
tyrant. And so I was thinking, I was like, wait a second, does this man make a triple entendre talking about current political stuff and like the coronavirus and Resident Evil reference? I was about to say, bro, I'm done. I'm about to take it back. I
totally intended that. I take it back.
I am done.
No, I totally intended that. Sure, we're gonna go with that. I'm lying for my teeth. I had no idea. That's awesome though. That's awesome. Bro, it works.
I was thinking that, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I was like, yo. I honestly thought, I was like, yo, wait a second. Big brain move here.
I wish I was that fucking smart. No, it's more of a double entendre. Like, it's just, there's tyrants right now everywhere, and there is literally a virus. That's why we're dead meat. But then it's like there's a tyrant virus. It just seems to be this growing wave of we love people that hurt us. We love people that are terrible for our country. Let's go. And so it's like there's two viruses in this country. There's coronavirus. There's a wave,
political virus,
authoritarianism. And gotta be mindful. Gotta watch out for snakes in life, brother.
Incel, very interesting song. Control C.
I'd say Incel's my second favorite song out of all of them.
It's starting to grow on me. Because like I said, I was expecting like a very not ignorant track, but that's my expectation. So that's just me personally. It's still a good song though. It's still a really good song though.
I mean,
I wasn't ready, bro.
In the song I say Manasseh and Roger Kaczynski. Those are three mass murderers that were incels that people forget about. Fucking first name Manasseh, whatever the fuck his name was.
Manasseh.
Last name Manassian. He was a fucking incel that he was in Canada, and he had this he just shot up. I think it was like a fucking yoga class or something. He had this van, and he just shot up a yoga class because he hated women. That his motivation was he hated women. And then Elliot Rodger, I'm assuming you know about him.
The name sounds familiar. I'm not. If you probably told me this story, I
forget what school he went to, but he drove around his campus and he filmed right before he did it. He filmed a manifesto saying he's going to go kill women because he couldn't, no one ever showed him attention, and no women ever showed him attention. So he was like, you deserve this. That was his thought process. And so he drove around his campus and shot couples and shot random people on the street because he felt like that's what they deserved. And he's praised online by these people as a champion of inceldom, and so it's like that terrifies me, the fact that he's universally praised online on Reddit and shit. And then Ted Kaczynski, who is the Unabomber. Unabomber.
Zane talked about him.
He has a lot of motivations, but one of the things the FBI realized was that in college he wrote about how frustrated he was because he couldn't get a girlfriend, and they think that that's a big reason he became violent. And so it's like, these are fucking mass murderers that were famous and are going to be famous forever because they killed people because they were mad at women, and they were mad because women didn't like them, and they blamed it on the world. And it's like, this isn't just haha funny, these people don't have sex. These people people are dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And these people
Yeah.
have built this bubble around themselves, and it's infiltrated. Like if you go online, if you look at any fucking Instagram comment section, it's all like women are trash. You know, fucking she belongs to the streets. You know, you're a simp.
Everybody
All
on
this-
Kylie Jenner's
and
post, you're a hoe.
Yeah,
You cheated on Travis Scott.
Yes. It's like, show us your ass, and they do, and they're like, you're a whore. It's like, what the fuck? And that's inceldom, man. That's incels. And that's the culture that is just perforating through the internet, and it makes me so upset and so sick that I needed it. The song was directly inspired by this random fucking time in my life where I don't know, I don't even remember what I said on this fucking meme, right? But I commented because I give in sometimes to just bait, you know what I'm saying? I give in, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna say this funny shit right here. I'm gonna type this out. And this guy replied like 1,000,000 times to my fucking comment, and then he went on my profile and commented on like every fucking post, and I had to keep deleting the comments, and he kept DMing me, and eventually he just made me block him, you know? And it's like, he did that all day, and it made me so fucking mad that someone had that little of a fucking life and that little of self-esteem that they went out of their way and took
To
their
mess
time
with you.
to mess with me. And so it's like, okay, motherfucker, you want my attention? No, you just want my reaction, and I'm not going to give it to you. So here's what I'm going to give you instead. I'm going to give you an entire song dedicated to how fucking disgusting people like you are. And so that's Incel. Incel is a song dedicated to how disgusting incels and sexists and people that hate women for no reason are. So, you know, fuck you for that. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
The internet, dude. Internet culture is the best, but sometimes the worst thing.
That's this whole tape. That's what the whole tape talks about.
Yeah. It's, yeah, but it was a good song, dude. Like, honestly, I don't think I've honestly comprehended the song enough to get all the little tidbits yet. So
thank you, man. It was a hard one to write, but
yeah. Like I definitely got a good chunk of it. Like I did catch the Kaczynski thing.
Awesome, man.
I did catch that, and I caught like a few other like I said, like when you wrote the thing about them being on Reddit and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the dude on Fox, who the writer, and like he got caught or whatever.
That's funny as shit.
But that was funny because I was like, yo, because it happened like a week ago, I think, or something like that.
That's funny that worked out that way. I'm really happy that worked out that way.
Yeah, and it's an interesting song. Definitely one of my favorites though. It is definitely like in the B tier.
Yes.
Going back to that, yeah.
Yes. B tier.
Yeah. It would be like A tier, but then like, I mean, I don't know. There's so many I could put at A tier. I mean, like I said, like Fashion Week's 1.
Yeah.
Fashion Week's number 1. 50's 2.
Yeah, 50.
3 is username password. 4 is incognito mode, and then like I think incels. Actually, no, 20. I don't know. Right now, 2020 and incel are kind of fighting for each other at number 5. But
that's all good, brother. That's all good. That's okay.
But it's kind of also unfair to compare all those songs because they have their own like unique
very different
thing. They're very different.
You know, you can enjoy all of them. Yeah.
I like, and I do enjoy it. Like I said, I'll enjoy all these songs for the most part. And then, like, you know, right now we're on my favorite song, Fashion Week. You know, we talked about this on the last episode. Go check that episode.
I've been told by many people that this is their favorite, even still, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I love the beat. Like I said, dude, every time your chorus comes on, I sing that shit in the fucking car, dude. I sing that.
Don't drive too far, baby. Don't drive too far. Don't take yourself too far, man.
I sing that stuff in the car, dude, and like, you know, when I'm chilling or whatever, you know, or mowing the lawn, I will literally sing that crap in front of my front lawn. Yeah, but yeah. So, and like I said, beat awesome, Jackson contribution. Oh yeah, let's do.
There it is. There's Fast. Okay. Jackson's. I'm really happy with how that song turned out. I really barely adjusted the song at all because I felt like it was fucking perfect to begin with. But the only things that really changed, I mixed it a little better, and what I did was for Jackson's part, I made sure that the synth when his chorus hit, I made sure it hit way harder, and I think I did a pretty good job. Now it kind of surrounds you when it hits, and that's what I wanted, you know.
Yeah.
So no, it's my favorite song as far as in general. Off the tape, no, because my favorite is probably 2020. But in general, as far as like songs that I've made, I'd say it's probably my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
It took fucking forever to literally. It literally took 9 months, like a child. It took 9 months to make, and it was the hardest one in general to get right because I just didn't know what I was doing for so long. But like, you know, after you get the hang of that, the rest are easy. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a very introspective song. On my end, it's about just the fear of being famous. You know, I talked a little bit about this in the last podcast, but it's just the fear of being famous and the fear of being loved for something. You know what I'm saying? Especially when, you know, dealing with music and when dealing with any type of career in art, it's like you can fade so fast and someone can take your place so quickly, you know. And it's like, it's like there's a lot of songs about wanting to be famous, but I don't think there's many songs out there that aren't from famous people that are about being scared of becoming famous. And for me, it's like a double-edged sword. Like I want to be known for what I make and I want to be successful, but like how far do I want to take that? And that's kind of what that song talks about. It's like I don't want people. It's like I'm scared to be loved like that. You know what I'm saying? Deep shit.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I like 2022. I really do like that song too, and definitely. It's kind of like I said, like it puts you in that mood, like, you know, it just gets you in that emotions. Like recently, Toby Mac, he released a song 21. Just for comparison. And you know, it's about his son who tragically died, his older son who tragically died. And every time I listen to that song, dude, it's boy, it's a trip. It's a trip, like, you know. It's a trip. Definitely. And listening to this and, like, you know, me personally, you know, knowing you and just it's crazy. You know, what you talk about. Yeah,
absolutely,
definitely.
Absolutely,
it definitely makes me look at my life and like appreciate, you know, stuff. I mean, we talked about this in the last podcast, but it makes me appreciate, like, you know, some stuff I haven't gone through yet, and luckily haven't yet. And
I hope you know.
Hopefully don't.
Hopefully you never have to. Yeah.
Hopefully
exactly.
don't.
Hopefully you never have to. Hopefully most people never have to.
Yeah. So.
And I want to say rest in peace, Groggs, because he was somebody that he was someone that did not have to listen to my music and went out of his way to do it, and then talk to me about it, and then hold a conversation with me. And so this song is injury reserve approved, and I will never forget that. I will never forget the fact that he listened to my song and liked it and talked to me about it. So rest in peace to him. Absolutely amazing man.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Groggs.
Yeah. I didn't want to post anything because, like, I didn't know him, and I didn't want, you know, I mean, like, again, my Instagram's not that big yet, but
I totally get you.
I feel like I wouldn't have made any dent, and, like, you know, I don't like a lot to post about that stuff because it's like,
I feel
you know, I know what's my truth and what I think. I don't need other people's, like, I don't, you know, I'm not that person that feels like, oh, I need you to know I feel bad, you know, or
no.
I get like, you know, why people do like that are close, you know.
Of course,
and, like, like, you know, I got why, you know, you wanted to put your condolences.
But not everyone needs to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I didn't want to look like fake either. Like,
I totally get that.
Yeah, you know, I didn't want to be the next, like, you know, freaking Michael McCrudden and bullcrap, you know, just using people's deaths as like a excuse.
As a platform.
I try not to do that. Try to show as much respect as I can. And we'll definitely get we'll touch on that subject. Hopefully we'll have enough time to touch on subjects like that after we review these last two songs. So next, after Fashion Week, we got Area Code 404. This is a lot of interesting messages, and I like this song.
This one, yeah.
I really do like this song. Different flows you have.
Yeah, this one is dedicated to the city of Atlanta. And this one is dedicated to Georgia because Area Code 404 is the first 3 letters of the area of around Atlanta. And in the Atlanta area, like my phone number starts with 404. Most people that live around the Atlanta area, their phone number will start with 404. And so that's the whole thing, is it just talks about Atlanta and Georgia and kind of, implementing aspects of the internet here and there with that, but really just talking about what the fuck is going on in Georgia right now, man. There's so much
we got a lot of locally stuff going on, and
there's so much
our own crap, dude.
Fuck Brian Kemp. And wear a mask. And
I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
Either.
We were in lockdown, and now we're not technically, but now
People
like apparently the numbers are going up, and it's like okay.
We live in a state that birthed MLK and the KKK at the same time. We live in a state that literally gave birth to a civil rights icon, 2 of them, John Lewis, RIP, and
I saw
rest in
that.
peace, John Lewis. Rest in peace, Martin Luther King. But we also are the same state that has Stone Mountain, which is the birthplace of the second coming of the Ku Klux Klan. So, we are a very contradicted state.
And now it's being it was taken over for a while by Black Panthers. Ironically enough.
Well, I think that's a beautiful turn of events, truly.
I think it's ironic because it's like, KKK? No, it's Black Panthers.
Yeah, they were like, fuck you,
Yeah. Which I mean, hey,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it, bro.
I feel like people overreacted when that happened, personally, because it's like
that was the whole point. I think they wanted people to be like, Black people with guns. But, they don't say anything. They don't say anything when the KKK rallies there, right? You never. Yeah. And the KKK has rallied at least once a year at Stone Mountain since their foundation at Stone Mountain. So interesting fact, when you go to Stone Mountain to play in the snow, you're also playing in the same location that the Klan was born in. So
it's a weird, dude. It's weird because it's like,
and that's Georgia. That's Georgia in a nutshell, bro. It's like you're having a great time, and then you have to remember, the last mass lynching in America happened down the fucking road from where I live in Monroe.
It's crazy. It's weird, dude. Georgia's a weird state. It's beautiful,
and that's why this song exists. That's why Area Code 404 exists, because I have not ever heard a song that really accurately described how fucking weird the state I live in is.
We got bipolar weather, like, bro.
Sure.
Dude, we're in between Florida and freaking Alabama, my God. The two wackest freaking other two wacky states, like.
I mean, when you're right above Florida, you're bound to get some weird shit.
Like, we are literally above the state that gets memed for having whack newspaper headlines. I think with Georgia, it's weird because a lot of people that aren't immediately from Georgia, they see Atlanta as like Outcast and fried chicken and fucking music and aquariums and Coca-Cola and all these symbols and Delta,
and, Kanye West, CNN, all these
Young
things.
Thug.
They see it as all this culture, right? And it's
Little
there,
Baby.
It's true. All of this is I mean, like hip hop in general now was born out of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
T.I.
Yeah. And
Killer Mike. Shout out Killer Mike.
Shout out Run the Jewels, by the way. Another art.
I haven't listened to that yet, but I heard it's super good.
You got to. Another group that if this tape wouldn't exist without is Run the Jewels. So shout out Run the Jewels. And so like for me, people view Atlanta as that, right? From the outside looking in, it's like all these wonderful cultural things. It's this great cultural phenomenon. I've been to Atlanta like millions of fucking times. I've been there and I've slept there several times. I've been to concerts there. I've walked around. You know, I've had people that live there. I've been in and out of Atlanta many times. You know, and it's like it's depressing. It's a depressing city, and it's a city that has a lot of deep rooted problems, like gentrification and like, you know, like a weird contrast between a very racist past and the very black centric culture it has now, you know, and even the government in Atlanta and the government in Georgia reflects that. You know, the government of Georgia is very Republican, very old, very white, you know, and nothing necessarily wrong with that. But because of the culture of Georgia's past, being very old, very white, and very conservative isn't necessarily a good thing here because of, you know, obvious reasons. So it's like you have that, which runs the state, and then everyone else who's very different than that past. These people that are the past run the state. These people that are the present don't have remotely the same ideas and values. That's why you have people saying, oh no, y'all don't have to wear a mask. We're going to open up after we lock down for a week because we think that's enough time. And these people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know?
It's so weird because it's like,
So weird.
like even like, and like, you know, I don't know if you watch me and Gunner, watch all of Gunner's podcast or whatever episode, but
I haven't watched the whole thing yet,
but it was funny.
It's beautiful what I have watched.
Yes. Yes. But you know, like I'm in the middle here. Like don't get me wrong. I wear a mask. You know, I try to be as safe as possible. I ain't trying to get it. I don't want to find out what it's like to have it.
No,
I'm good, bro.
I've known people that had it. You know, like.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reports. Like some people fine, some people they freaking look like they are having like a panic attack.
Everyone reacts different, man. Everyone reacts different.
I don't want to find out how I react. So
exactly.
You know, but
not worth the chance. Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's weird with all the statistic and I don't know. It's just, dude, it's a whole weird thing. And it's like, yeah, like we were talking about. It's like, and like I also talked about with Zane. It's like. We don't it's weird. We don't know enough. Like, and like we talked about in the first episode, we don't like, it's this weird thing where we don't know enough to like actually have a definitive idea of how to like conquer this virus. So.
No, and I think that's why it's very important to wear a mask in public, you know, because you don't know if someone else is sick and you're wearing a mask and they aren't. Right now, it's believed that you're still going to get sick. You know, you have a 75% chance of still getting sick, even though you have a mask on. And so that's why everyone needs to wear one, regardless if you feel fine, regardless if you are sick, you know, like you need to wear a mask because the chances go significantly down if both of you have this thing over your mouth that prevents the other one from getting your spit and getting the cough, you know? And so it's like, why that isn't required in Georgia, why it isn't recommended in Georgia, why Georgia, the most like one of the most populous states in the country, has decided, oh well, we don't need to, you know, we will open up our borders and we'll open up our gyms after a fucking week. Yeah, it boggles me, man. And I think like the reason I named this area code 404 is because I think there's a direct connection between, you know, the error 404 that happens when a website crashes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how Georgia feels. Georgia feels like an error. Georgia feels like a fucking crashed website. And I kind of wanted to connect the internet with where I live and where I come from. And I think that this song exactly does that. It exactly correlates the culture of the internet that I've grown up with, all the aspects of hip hop that have come with that, and the very backwards times that are happening here. So that's that song.
So, but you also touched on some other stuff. You touched on some celebrity stuff, which I thought was interesting because I've seen you post about it on your social media. But and it's the funny part where you pause and you're like, how can you like somebody if they beat a woman and they still make love songs?
Yeah, that part was supposed to be like spoken word at first. That was supposed to just literally be like, yeah, you know, that whole break right there is meant to. Initially, I was going to directly name some people, but I decided against that.
In case they wanted to take it down.
Yeah. So I just decided, let's throw some subtle jabs here and there.
Yeah.
You can't respect women and then pay artists that beat them. So
it's a weird thing, dude.
It's
with
a
like
very weird thing. Yes.
like morals and artists and like, should you support them? Should you
Mhm.
not? Like, does it matter?
Yeah.
like-
I mean, and you can't be an artist that molests girls and then feel like you're the victim. R. Kelly, you know, like you can't.
Yeah. I didn't even
You're
have
not
to
the
say
victim.
like.
You're not the
I
victim,
mean,
bro.
The only
Yeah.
song I liked was all I can.
I believe I can.
I
fly.
believe I can fly. That's
Of
the only
course,
song,
it's
but
iconic.
I'm
unfortunately iconic.
I am not gonna go
I
back to
know.
that. But it's
No,
like
of
at
course.
some points it's like a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like especially with dead artists, it's like why
Yeah.
are we talking like Michael Jackson? Why do you gotta try to ruin Michael Jackson for me? It's like
Well, Michael Jackson ruined some children's lives. So.
like yeah, I mean look, they're you know, don't get me wrong, horrible.
But
it,
also
like-
he's dead. So it's like with me, it's different with dead artists because you're not supporting them anymore if you listen to them because
Mhm.
they're dead. You know,
Yeah,
you might support the music they made, which is different. You got to separate the two.
yeah.
But you know, as long as those people aren't getting money from you, which they
Mhm.
can't because they're dead, it's fine. You know,
I mean, it probably goes to like freaking their children or whatever. I mean,
and that's okay. You know,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, I'm okay with that.
as long as they're not horrible people. But you know,
Yeah, and the music is not the person. The music may
Yeah.
have come from the person, but it's not the person.
mhm.
And so it's like, yeah, you know, it's like
it's
how,
weird.
you know,
It's complicated,
that
dude.
that part just talks about a lot of those contradictions. You know, like how
Mm-hmm.
can you cry for a kid that you didn't know that is dead or that is, you know, hurt, but give money to artists like 6ix9ine that fuck children? You know, like how can you do that?
Yeah,
How
it's
can in good conscience can you be like, I care about this kid and these children that are dying in this country, and then give your money and support to someone like that? You know, it's like you don't care about kids then.
yeah, it's weird, dude. It's the whole 6ix9ine situation's a whole thing
That's a whole
of
other thing. I don't
itself.
even wanna
That
talk
is,
about
it's
that
a
now.
whole
I don't wanna talk
complicated
about it.
situation. Yeah,
It's a
but
whole different fucking thing.
yeah, that situation's super weird. But yeah, it's just like Michael Jackson and them. It's like don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
Look, what happened to those people, you know, horrible,
Don't say
and
anything
you
you
know,
regret, Nicholas.
I know. Well, I was just gonna say because you know a lot of people like, you know, I don't know the evidence
get
and I
it,
don't know
I
if
get
they're, I don't know if they're still considered allegations, but you know,
We'll never know.
stuff,
That's the thing.
you know,
Like,
supposedly
he's-
stuff happens,
At this point,
and
we'll
if
never
it's
know.
true,
At this point, we'll never
horrible,
know.
horrible, and I condemn it. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. There's been other conflicting, and you know, just both sides. Anyway, there's three sides to a story.
situation.
It's weird.
Yes.
It's a weird situation. Horrible. You know, if that's what happened, horrible.
Mhm.
And like you know, but I'm sorry, I'm still gonna bump Thriller. I mean, or Smooth
Everyone
Criminal.
is.
Like,
Well, he's dead, so it's fine.
and it's like it goes to what his children that like one got canceled because she revealed her boobie at a freaking Super Bowl. Like, I mean, I don't really care. I'm gonna listen to his music or his estate or whatever. Whoever gets the money, it doesn't matter.
Whatever. It is what it is.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, his, you know, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. But anyway, whatever, her daughter, whatever, his daughter.
Talking about Janet
Um,
Jackson.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I don't know.
That's his
People say
sister.
like,
I'm pretty sure that's his sister.
oh, my bad,
Wait,
y'all.
is it his
Sorry.
sister? No, yeah, it's his
I don't
sister.
know. I
It's his
forget.
sister. Yeah, that's his sister.
I forget, y'all. My bad. But
It's all good.
you know,
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
It
People
happened
say
in
she got
2001.
canceled.
This happened in
But yeah,
2001.
people say she got canceled at that point
Why are you
because you
talking about
know.
2001?
I don't know. But anyway, so but yeah, he's dead. And but it's also like weird because like artists in the past of like, you know, if you go back to old hip hop and old pop songs, some of them are like, you know, some rock songs, you know, some people like say some stuff, you know, back then that was suitable and like that was suitable for the time back then, and then now
Axl Rose
like,
is a piece of shit. That's all I have
like
to say.
or like, you know, DMX, like if you listen to DMX's lyrics, bro, like it's some raw it is some raw
Tyler
stuff.
the Creator, man. I mean, who do you think Tyler the Creator was
and then
for a very long time until
and then
now, until recently,
Tyler the Creator, I mean,
Joji,
it's like,
a lot of people have changed throughout the years. I mean, DMX is a preacher now, I'm pretty sure. So it's like people, you know, people change. It's maturity.
And I mean,
maturity.
Yeah, and you know, it's like, you know, it's so weird because like, at what point is it like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like it's like really like, okay, are you really gonna try and cancel this person? But at the same time, I understand it. Like for 6ix9ine and all that, like I don't listen to any of his music unless it's a reaction channel, and I'm supporting the reaction channel because I just want to see, you know, whatever. But
I get you. I understand the struggle.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, and I already thought like most of his music's trash anyway. So
yeah, it's garbage. Fucking garbage.
But yeah,
so that's all I have to say.
And then like, you know, you said like, you know, you talked about Chris Brown, and
well, that's the beating women thing. Yeah. No, fuck Chris,
and
I mean, fuck Chris Brown.
Like, don't get me wrong.
I don't even like Chris Brown, like as an artist. So much less do I like him as a person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I grew up with Chris Brown.
It's okay if
so
you like him. It's okay if you like the music. It's okay.
I like the music. Like,
Just
don't get me wrong. Like
money.
when I found out that he was like
a piece of shit. Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong. Like once I found out like
don't give him money.
He beat Rihanna, I was like, nah, okay. I don't like him as a person now.
Motherfuckers still worship him to this day. They still do, and they ignore the fact that he literally beat like Rihanna within an inch of her life. Like he really did like beat the crap out of her, and like
a lot of people use that. Oh, she said she forgave him. And I'm like
okay, does that mean she wants to be around him? No.
Oh, it's so weird. I just watched a video about that whole conflict and like how there was apparently a love triangle with her and with him and Drake and Rihanna, and it was like some whack crap. And, like,
also, I make fun of Drake a lot in this tape, even though he inspired the tape. I want to point that out. Like on the same song, I say that I am whiter than Logic.
Oh yeah,
but still blacker than Drake. I'm still blacker than Drake, and that's funny to me. It's funny to me that I'm less white to listen to than Drake. I think so.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, my music's pretty weird. I don't know.
Do you have a biracial penis? That is the question.
Biracial penis.
That's what Logic said in a song.
Biracial. I know. Biracial penis. I'm gonna say this. I'm glad Logic's retiring, and that's all I have to say.
I was gonna ask you about that.
I'm glad he's retiring, bro. Homie needs to put up his jacket. It's game over. You know.
The thing is though,
he failed.
I hate when they say that because I feel like he's really like he's not gonna actually retire. Like I feel like he is. He's probably going to be on a feature. He's probably going to do a Jay-Z and like, you know, occasionally or J. Cole.
3000, yeah.
Yeah, or Andre 3000 and occasionally be like on a song or something.
On a now
like,
and
on
then,
a feature.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Like I hate when they use I'm gonna retire. I'm like
it's an attention grabber because Logic loves attention.
Yeah. Dude. Oh god. Yeah.
So that's the second bar on the entire tape where I make fun of Logic. Funnily enough, there's two now. There's two.
Yeah, there's the one on Boomer Anthem.
Yeah, and now there's the one on this. I make fun of Logic twice.
Yeah.
I make fun of Eminem twice too, so you know, it works out.
Oh, you do make fun of Eminem?
Yeah, on Incel I say they wanted Marshall Mathers. I gave them Marshall Dillon.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Marshall Dillon is a character from Gunsmoke, the old Western. really obscure reference there, but you know.
And dude, it's so weird because like I used to be such an Eminem stan, and then
Oh, Sam. I mean, everyone was at one point.
I mean, like, yo, Not Afraid bumps, bro.
If you're white, you liked Eminem at least once.
yeah,
It's a
like,
fact.
dude, Not Afraid was like a banger, like
Yeah,
in
but
2000s.
yeah, no, but Eminem's garbage. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not even inspired by Eminem. I do not like people. I keep saying like on this tape, like don't compare me to Eminem. If you compare me to Eminem, it's because I'm white, and I get it. But like,
I wouldn't.
but like,
dude,
don't. But like, please don't, because I'm not.
You would have to be a fast flow, and you don't really
I'm not
use
a
the
lyrical
fast flow.
spiritual miracle man.
Yeah, you're
I'm
not like a. Yeah.
Cause you know why?
That's why.
'Cause I like to say things and have people understand them.
And like, yeah, that's why I found out about Tech9 like last year, dude. I like him more than Eminem now. I'm like, yo,
Tech9's very good. Yes.
yeah.
Very
Especially
good.
his
Very
new
appreciated.
stuff, dude. Whoever makes
Oh,
his
yeah.
beats, like, oh my god, dude, they are fire.
He's insane. I love Tech9, man.
And dude, his voice, like somebody said it very. Oh, one sec. Oh, okay. That was
Headphones
weird.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently somehow it's still connected to my phone. Anyways, what was it? Oh yeah, so like, frick, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so his newer stuff, like, dude, oh yeah, somebody said like, his voice is like a drum, like it's just a bass, like the way he speaks and
I'd
how
say so.
fast. Yeah, and like, dude, his rhyme schemes are just like I don't even realize it like till a second later that I was like, oh shoot, wait, oh wow, that.
If you like that, I'm gonna put you on. I don't know if you'll like this at all, but listen to Clipping and David Diggs. David Diggs is in Clipping. He's a guy that was, funnily enough, he was an actor in Hamilton. He played Thomas Jefferson in Lafayette in Hamilton. But he actually is in an experimental hip hop group named Clipping, and they're insane.
Oh, wow.
Their beats are literally terrifying, and he raps like a fucking god. And I think I think you'd be into it if you like Tech9.
Okay.
If you like Tech9, you'll definitely like.
Yeah, I like Tech9.
Yeah, you'll definitely like Clipping. Then you should look into that. Like, they're very good. David Diggs is an incredible rapper, and yeah, just want to give a quick shout out to fucking Clipping.
Yeah.
A random shout out to Clipping.
Yeah, but are there any other disses? I'm trying to think if there are any other disses on this.
I think we covered the
mixtape.
disses. I mean, the rest of the song just disses Georgia as a concept.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only other diss on that song. And then you just have American Devil, which was funnily
American
enough
Devil,
the oldest song. It's the oldest song in the entire thing.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it.
Yeah, it's weird because like, dude, the remastered version, like I said, dude,
It's a million times different.
yeah, it definitely is different. I still like the beat to the song, definitely. And did you it felt like you added new lyrics too about the current state.
No, the lyrics are very different. They have the same flow kind of, but they're very different than the original. Because the original it was released in like 2017, and I was not very good. And I didn't even know if I wanted to even rap or like do anything hip hop related. And you know, to this day I'm kind of like that, but like
yeah.
But with this, I was like, I want to bring that song back because I liked enough parts about it, and I liked what I was going for. And the general concept was, like, the whole concept of the song is just holding up a mirror to America. I think that was, I'm really glad it's the last song on the whole thing, and I've always wanted it to be the last song on the whole tape because to me it is just looking in the mirror. And I think at the end of the whole experience of the tape, you know, hearing everything that's being talked about, it's important to just look in the mirror and realize this is where you live. This is what's going on right now. Here's all of it in one song. And so I try to make it pretty easily digestible and pretty fair and pretty neutral. And so it's really at its core just a punk ass rap song. So
Yeah.
talking about America and talking about, you know, what's going on. And the last line I end the whole tape off with is all for one or none for each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very true sentiment.
Yeah.
We're either all in this together or no one's getting out.
Yeah, that's it's very interesting because nobody really feels like that concept is just dying, and it's great. It's like, bro,
it's grim as shit, man.
Yeah, it's like, I swear, if the founding fathers found out what America was like today, they would be rolling in their graves. My God,
For sure.
If
But
they aren't
they'd
already.
also probably be like, why are there black people running around? So to be fair, I don't think we can base too much of our thoughts of what was Thomas Jefferson think. Well, Thomas Jefferson would probably think a lot of things that are not okay.
I'm just saying it's they didn't want
they didn't want political parties.
They didn't want political parties, and it
they didn't want the Constitution to stay the same throughout the entire history of the country. They didn't think it was the Bible. They were just like, hey, they literally said like, hey, redo this every 10 years.
Yeah. And
we haven't been doing that.
A lot of people, and they
Separation
also
of
did
powers. They wanted that.
And but it's also funny because with the separation of powers, a lot of people forget a lot of basic values that are in the Constitution also come from religion, and a lot of people forget they always want to bash religion and stuff, and it's like, and also different people, different groups just want to bash each other's religion, and it's like, why? It's like, bro.
Well, I talk about that kind of in American Devil a little bit. It's like people, there's a section of the song where I say blame it on this, blame it on that, blame it on this, blame it on that, and that was from the original. But in essentially people will blame everything that they can on one another or on a certain group of people that makes sense to them, and it makes it easy. It makes what's going on a little easier for them to digest, but it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't, nothing that is going on has to make sense, because it doesn't. I mean, it shouldn't be happening. A lot of what's going on should be happening, but it has. And you making dents in the wall of other people's houses isn't gonna fix the fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Now you're just pissing other people off for no reason.
Yeah,
I've always blame it on everyone, but
I feel like and just to add on to your point, I've always tried to, at least I feel like people should preach that, and me and Zane talked about this, it's like you should always try to look at the other, at least I try to look at the other person's perspective and be like, why do you like this? Why do you think this? All right, let me throw this at you. Then,
it's important.
All right, they throw this back at me, and and like I said, your song, like I said, I agree with some things you say in this tape, and I disagree with some things you say, and but that's the cool thing about this tape. It's like it throws, and I feel like that's also a lot of other people's understanding, and obviously. Everybody's not going to 100% agree with this tape, obviously.
No, I mean, it's my opinion. It's not meant to be everyone's opinion,
And it was funny. I'm not going to say who, but I was hanging out with some people over 4th of July weekend, and they were mutual friends, or they were mutual compadres of us.
Interesting.
They crossed paths with both of us. They know of you and me, basically.
Yes.
But I was telling them I was doing this thing with you, and I was doing this podcast with you or whatever, and they were like, "Oh, I don't like him at all, dude. I don't dude. Everything he says is just it's I can't agree with that. He is strong, other side." And I was like, "Dang." I tried to explain to him. And I tried to explain with him, you aren't the most unreasonable person in the world, and it's trust me, he's not just a regular. I'm a libtard. I believe this. I mean,
I'm an independent. I want to make that known that I'm not a political party, and I'm not a political stance. I'm a human being, and I believe in respect and equality for everybody. If you don't like that, stay all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm here. I heard what you said.
Awesome.
Luckily enough,
The connection died for me, so it's okay.
I'm so it's crazy how my Wi-Fi is.
No, I get you. I want to make it known to everybody that may know me on Facebook, all the conservative high schooler friends I've had out there. Hello, how you doing? I'm not a liberal, so you can't use that against me. I'm just a decent fucking human being, and so if you have a problem with that, maybe look in the mirror.
Yeah, I hate because I remember we'd have conversations at school, especially with you, me, and Jacob when we had algebra 2, which was horrible, which was hell. Fuck that class. But and like I remember like after like the school shootings, we were talking about like guns and stuff, and I remember you act like you had a reasonable, like we all had a reasonable like agreement that maybe there should be like something in place to like either more police at schools, or it was like something with guns.
Well, in retrospect, that's a terrible idea too.
Yeah, and it's like weird because we were like, that would be a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then like also, and it's kind of weird because like there's already a lot of gun laws, and it's like, how is that gonna change anything?
It's a weird situation.
It's a weird situation, yeah. And so
what I figured out recently, because I watched a few videos on the issue, and something I learned about recently was gun licensing instead of just gun like registering for your permit. What that does is, to get a permit, it only takes you can get a permit within like a day, and so like it could only even and background checks for purchasing a gun take usually like 2 minutes. And so if someone wants to make an impulsive decision to buy a gun, they can get a permit within like a week to a few days, and then they can buy a gun within like a few fucking minutes, and the issue with background checks right now is that the FBI database that they use for background checks is like 6 years out of date, and that they don't have everyone's information in there. And also it doesn't take into account the people that haven't committed a crime yet or don't have anything in the background check, but are about to. And so something that I learned about is gun licensing, which kind of makes it a little harder, but doesn't overcomplicate things. It doesn't make it harder for normal people to get one. And that it's kind of like needing a license to own, like to drive a car. It's almost like that, but for a gun. And so you have like a 2-week period where you take a course, you apply, obviously, you get your permit, and you have this all-around background check that is put into several different systems, and then all of those systems are connected to the FBI network. And so that way someone can't just walk into a store and buy a gun. It's like, well, okay, you have to get a license for that, and so that takes weeks. And so that'll weed out a few people, because it'll make them think about what they're about to do. That'll prevent people that should be having guns from getting guns, because once they get that license, they will once they go through that process, the office will deny them the license, because they're like, well, you have this, and this, and so that's the easiest way that I found to prevent a lot of gun crime is to just make getting a gun harder in a way that doesn't make it so impossible for everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, good people are willing to go through a few weeks to get a gun to protect themselves, just in the same way good people are willing to learn how to drive a car in order to drive. You know what I'm saying?
It's a very complicated situation.
Very complicated.
And because like people would rebuttal with that, just to be devil's advocate. Like people would say, oh, what if a person feels like they're being stalked and like they want to get a gun like right then and there, or
I don't think anyone should be able
or
to
if
get
they
a gun
really
right then and there, you know what I'm saying?
or if they feel endangered, or if they really want one like during a crisis like now, where it's like, hey, I need a weapon to protect myself because my city in the next like few blocks from here is freaking a chop zone, and I don't want to get got. So I mean, it's a weird, complicated situation, because that, and then the government wants to make that into a registration database, so then they know everybody who has a gun, and they can just easily find out, okay, this person has a gun. Like, if eventually it turns into a totalitarianism, and they try to take all the guns away.
Here's the thing: people are worried about that, but do you think the government doesn't already have your fucking information on file?
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I feel like the government has a lot of freaking information.
We are all carrying around these.
We're carrying around this photo.
And like, people are really naive enough to think the government doesn't fucking check in on you now and then. Like 100% they do. And they were exposed for this. Yeah. Like, this is a real thing. Yeah. This isn't a conspiracy. They were literally exposed for this several times. And so, like, for me,
all these boomers didn't say anything about George Bush, bro.
Exactly.
Obama. But no, we still voted Obama in.
Yeah, George Bush.
Still voted George Bush.
For me, I think like people pull out you can't infringe on my freedom card. This is going to lead to this. This is going to lead to that. They pulled that card out a lot. But it's like, dude, they already have and they require your driver's license for a lot of things. They have your driver's license number to get into college, to fucking fill out your taxes.
Yeah.
you need your ID to buy cigarettes. Like you need that ID for everything. They already have that. Having another license for a gun, a thing that can kill people and protect you from people by killing them or by hurting them, I feel like it's not unfair to want a license for that, because we already kind of have a license. It's a permit, right? A license for it officially just makes it just like barely harder to get, and it just prevents people that should not be having a gun from getting one, and it discourages people that are thinking about doing something bad with a gun from wanting to, what I'm saying? Because they have to go through this arduous process. But like, again, if you're a good person, you're a law-abiding citizen, you want a gun to protect yourself, you're gonna go through the hurdles. And if you just want a gun right then and there, you don't want a gun for the right reason. Sorry, you shouldn't have a gun.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a gun, you gotta have it for the right reason. You gotta have it to protect yourself and the people you care about. That's what a gun is for, in my opinion. And if you just want a gun because you're scared, that's the worst reason to have a gun. That's why cops shouldn't be cops, because a lot of cops get scared. And why are you gonna give a motherfucker that's scared a gun?
It's. I swear, all these situations, dude. All these problems got so much nuance,
and they all run into one another.
Yeah,
they're intertangled in this weird Twizzler of life.
Yeah. Jesus.
And that's my album.
Yeah, y'all.
That's my tape.
Make sure to get this man's mixtape. Jeez, I can't believe we've talked for an hour literally about this mixtape, my guy. It's crazy, man.
It's something I've worked on for a long time, and you know what? If it didn't piss off a few fucking people, I wouldn't have done my job. It's a punk album. I would say it's a punk album, and the purpose of punk music is to piss some parents and some people off. So I'd say this worked exactly the way I wanted it to. So I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Definitely one of my definitely was anticipating this mixtape along with a few others.
Thank you, brother.
Which I don't know if you want to touch on right now. We could touch on another episode or something,
it's
but
totally up to you. I don't care.
But a few other albums came out. A lot of announcements came out for other albums. Me and Zane briefly talked about the Popsmoke and Juice WRLD album release.
I've not actually heard the Juice WRLD album yet.
Okay.
Been meaning to, but I actually have not had the time to sit down and listen to that one.
I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I've listened to a good amount of the songs. I think to make a decision that most of the songs are, I would say, well produced, and I compare most of the Posthumous albums now to what XX-Tentacion's was, like on the lower scale.
Yeah.
Because I felt like they just did them really dirty.
They did.
Honestly.
I mean, it was all for money. It wasn't for because those songs weren't done. They weren't even songs. They were really just kind of ideas, and they weren't meant to be songs. I think that's very disrespectful to take an artist's ideas and flesh them out like that when they don't want them. Like I think a good way to do it is something like with Mac Miller, where he already had that
like most of that album done, and he already had most of those songs done, and someone else just came along and someone else that knew him came along and finalized it, not just these random people,
Mm-hmm.
The same thing happened with Popsmoke, like 50 Cent executive produced that album.
Yeah, Popsmoke album, great album. So,
the fuck, what is it called? It's
aim for the stars, shoot for the moon.
Shoot for the moon, aim for the star. Yeah, something like that. I love that title, first of all, and second of all, I love most of the songs on that entire project because Popsmoke was a very unique face in hip hop, and I'm really glad that 50 Cent produced that album because he was someone that inspired Popsmoke and someone that knew Popsmoke, and so it's like that is a carrying on of the torch that he left behind.
Yeah.
Whereas things like X and things like Lil Peep and just people that die like that, they don't. A lot of them don't get that. They just get people that are in their record and they're like, cool, let's release all this shit he had, to make some more money off of him while we can. It's just a really shameful cash grab. And I haven't really listened to anything by Juice WRLD since he died. That's been released because because like to me, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was like things that he actually wanted to be released or if they were just things that his record label was shoving out, I liked like Juice WRLD was probably one of my favorite SoundCloud rappers for sure. I think he had the most potential out of most of them. And it's sad that it got cut so short so quickly, but he was really showing a lot of potential after his debut, and I forget the name of it. I forget, it was the Death Race for Love.
Oh yeah, Death Race for Love, and then the one before that was Goodbye and Good Riddance.
Goodbye and Good Riddance. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't like that album, Death Race for Love, but I loved a lot of the songs off that album and a lot of the sounds and ideas off that album. I just haven't listened to anything that's been released after that, mainly just because
you don't know if it's going to be as good as.
I didn't think it was going to be honest to him. I didn't know,
Yeah.
With Popsmoke, it's a little different because he was, his album was done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. Yeah. 50 Cent did really well with this album. Yeah. I think producing it really and from listening to him, it seemed like he really believed in this project.
Really cared about it. Yeah. And
like he didn't take any money from this from the sales, which I think is good, and I think it's admirable that he wanted to make this album as classic as possible.
It's an homage and it's a memorial to Popsmoke and to the influence he's gonna have on the music scene for sure, because drill music I think is a really unappreciated genre of hip-hop. I think drill is a freaking amazing production style. I love drill music. It's so crazy, it's so out of nowhere.
The ad-libs and just
like,
the way basses and instruments come in, it's so.
And people like Popsmoke and just the New York sound of drill in general, like they brought that sound from Britain, because
Brooklyn,
drill,
Brooklyn drill, but they got it from Great Britain.
They got it from London.
UK drill music.
UK drill, like the UK has a lot of great hip-hop genres.
Stormzy, dude. Stormzy is
Stormzy's amazing, man.
So
people don't appreciate a lot.
He's underrated. Like he's underrated.
1000%. And
him and Jamie is good.
Oh yeah, Stormzy, Jamie. I believe his name is M Huncho. M Huncho is a good one.
That's he sounds familiar.
Yes. Slow Tie. Slow Tie is a really great one.
Oh, is he from Britain? I didn't know he's from Britain.
Slow Tie's from Britain. I mean, you can't even. He's one of the ones that kind of broke through to the mainstream, out of that scene. But Slow Tie for sure. Skepta.
I've heard of Skepta. Yeah, he's on the remix to Welcome to the Party.
Yeah.
I've heard that was pretty fire.
Yeah, and it makes sense because Skepta's a drill artist,
Yeah, it was really
Yeah, and then an artist I really like that's kind of gaining popularity is Reggie Snow, who's from Ireland, and just like that general area of Europe is kind of unappreciated in its rap music, I think. But it's like there's a lot of great sounds that come out of London and Britain and Ireland, and and I'm glad that New York has kind of popularized its own style of drill with Popsmoke, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because drill is a fucking great genre and it needs to be
Oh yeah.
listened to and popularized more because I love that fucking sound. I
Yeah.
love that sound so much,
Dude,
man.
honestly, if there was a SoundCloud era of like that was good of drill rap, dude,
Oh yeah.
the hip hop game would be done, bro.
Done.
It'd be done.
Because
But
it's
yeah.
so unique. It's so weird and out there. And I love it.
The production it's kind of like hard metal rock where there's all this stuff going around
Yeah.
it, but like it's still
It
tamed
hits
enough where
so
it's like
hard, man.
hip hop. But yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like the ad libs and like it literally makes you want to just boss up and like, dude, it makes you.
It sounds like punching people, like just as
Yeah.
a sound. Like
It makes you want it, dude. It makes you like want to go to the range and just shoot a
Right.
target, dude. You're like, okay, bro, I'm gonna really shoot it. Like,
you really feel like you're about to fuck someone up when you listen to some drill
This
music.
is
That's a
correct.
fact.
Yeah, like, dude, I've been getting into like, dude, I wish Fivio Foreign had more like music out, dude. Oh
Very
my
good artist,
God.
Video Foreign, yes.
Like, bro, even though I don't like Drake's part as much on his song Demons with him, but dude, Fivio Foreign and Sosa Geek go hard on
Oh
this.
yeah. No, I love that song. I mean, Drake is corny. I will say Drake is very corny when he tries to be in a different culture that isn't his. You know, when he tries to do the British thing or the Jamaican thing. I totally think he's corny. But I really do have to appreciate the production and the sounds he brings into his music when he pulls from those genres. You know, like I like Demons because the song itself is giving a lot of appreciation and respect to drill, and it's like that's awesome. I love when stuff like that happens.
But dude, you gotta appreciate when Fivio Foreign comes in. He's like, "Bow, Fivio in the cloud."
The ad-libs,
Bro,
the best part. The ad-libs are the best part of drill, man.
with him, like, unlike, even though Pop Smoke has his own ad libs and they're
Oh, yeah.
fire on its own,
Oh yeah,
Fivio, it's just like constant. It's like
it's all the
great.
time.
It's like
great.
bam, 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 bam. Oh my! But
I need to listen. I need to listen to more of it, man. Honestly,
yeah, dude. But
it's a great genre.
but yeah, he had a remix. Fivio Foreign had a remix of his big song "Big Drip" with a Lil Baby and Quavo, dude.
I think I saw that one. I never listened to that one, but I think I saw that
but
remix.
Dude,
Yeah.
Quavo, and dude, I don't know what it is, but Quavo mixes good with these freaking drill songs, bro. Dude, his ad libs combined with like the
Maybe that should be
shooting
his
and
next
like.
step. Should be his next
Dude,
step. Then.
that should be Quavo, dude. His whole like, if he makes another album, dude, that should be the whole like
Quavo
album.
should drop a
It's just-
drill album. Quavo should drop a
dude,
drill
that
album.
would be lit,
That'd be
bro.
awesome.
On Culture 3, dude, Offset and all them make a drill song.
Drill album. That'd be
Bro.
fucking sick.
Oh my god, yeah. But all right. But anyways, we're gonna stop nutting because.
Stop
What?
coming over
That's
drill
just a little
music.
weird.
Sorry
Yeah,
to come
for a
over drill
sec,
music
but-
real quick.
But yeah, but I will say like the Pop Smoke album was really great, and
really good.
I already
I
listened
like it
to
a lot.
all of the deluxe. The deluxe edition came out
Haven't heard the deluxe
yesterday.
edition, but yeah, I haven't heard that yet.
Actually came out last night. Yeah, I've already listened to the
I've
whole
heard that one
thing.
good.
It's more of the only thing. There are some, and he's got like 2 songs with Fivio Foreign, which are pretty good.
Sick.
And he's got 2. I don't know if they're like friends of his, but Dreadroo and Daredroo. I'm assuming those are like friends of his and like
Don't
that
know
little
them yet.
Woo gang or whatever they made.
The Wu Gang, yeah.
I'm sorry for anybody that's close to them and knows what I'm
don't
talking
know.
about. But
I don't know
anyways,
them.
but it's interesting because he's got more. He's also got like that pop. Because also 50, you know, he was trying to bring out the pop elements that
Yeah.
Pop Smoke wanted to
Yeah.
you know, incorporate. And he's literally got a song with Jamie Foxx, which I thought was interesting. He's got
sick as fuck.
he's got a song with him. He's got a
That's
song
sick.
with this it's called
Wow.
Tsunami. I think
Jamie
the guy's called
Foxx.
David Wu. It's some
David
Jamaican,
Wu.
but I don't, or not
Sick.
David Wu, but dude, it's like a
Sick.
Jamaican song and it's really good. Like,
Sick.
even though I'm not a
I'm gonna
fan
check
of
that
like
out.
the popsy stuff that the like in the later, like in the original album, I'm not like a fan of like the super, like some of the super Dovey Love songs,
Yeah.
because like again, you know, came for the drill, like boom bop bop.
Came for the boom bap, yeah.
Like, but I can appreciate like the song, the woo,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
the song that he has with Slay Lee, Creature, dude, is that's a pretty good song.
Mhm.
Not one of the best of Sway Lee's verses, like hooks, but his
But
verse
I
on
like
that's pretty
song.
hard.
I like the song.
Yeah, the song's good. Snitching with Future and Quavo's good. That's a good song. The Woo, it's like the Woo, and dude, I just
I like
watched
the Woo.
music.
I like the Woo as a song. I like that
Yeah.
one.
I watched the music video, paid homage pretty well.
Mhm.
And dude, the sad song though that he's got here, I got it on me, bro.
Oh,
my god.
Fucking damn.
The sample that he got from the 50 Cent, dude. I watched the original one after listening to that. Went back, bro. I like a lot of people say I like the 50 Cent version. No, I like the Popsmoke version. Like
Popsmoke version hits more in my opinion.
yeah, like, and dude, the beat, like, it's just more heavenly, and like you feel the emotion because like
That's what I love about that song, man.
it just hits different.
Anything like that, I adore. Yeah.
But to throw it back on you, man, you know, relating it to you since you were the guest of honor.
Yes, sir.
If you're, keep going on, man. Which kind of hinted that you're gonna make some more songs, you know. So,
I might drop a thing here and there, you know.
but you know, if you're
less
working,
political this time, I promise.
I know we kind of talked about this I forgot if this is part 1 or part 2, but I asked you the question, like, you know, if you had an album and you you suddenly passed away, would you want it to be released to the public?
I would say so.
You would say so?
Yeah. I mean, kind of my intent with making music is to make it to make enough songs, even if I don't finish them all at once, that, you know, in the event that I died, someone could take them and finish them for me and put them out the way I want them to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, if I had an album that I was just sitting on, you know, or something that I was working on that wasn't entirely mixed yet, you know, I would want someone to come along and put that out for me, because I wouldn't want like my artistic
contributions
to be wasted, you know. And
Gotcha.
but there's a difference between like putting stuff out that I like wanted to have put out and just putting out random ideas I had that I never wanted to see the light of day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the big difference.
Yeah. And then
I wouldn't want people to just like dig through my stuff, but I would want them to definitely put out the songs that, you know, I want it to be finished.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because that's what I felt like X's album was, his last album. It was all choruses really, and like not many lyrics.
There wasn't
was
a lot
like
of anything really.
I think all the songs had a feature on. I think so.
Because there was nothing to add.
And I mean, you know, I don't know him personally, but there's a lot of people that said, "Oh, this feature wouldn't be on here," you know, if he was still alive, and
oh yeah,
blah blah blah.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, and it was interesting because there was a huge controversy. I remember in high school when that "Fall in the Rain" song came out with him and Lil Peep.
No, because they didn't like each other, and they didn't like each
Yeah.
other when they were alive, and you know, the people that knew them personally said like this never would have happened if they were alive.
Yeah.
And so I think that's it's a very disrespectful song for sure.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, it's funny. It would be like kind of ironic if, like, you know, if you had a song left over and all of a sudden for some reason, you know, they just gave it to freaking Chris Brown or some junk, and you were like, nah, this would not happen if I was alive.
That's how it'd be. It'd be like, nah, man, like I don't know. You know, if I don't respect you as an artist, I'm not gonna work with you. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm dead, I don't want that. You know. I don't respect you as an artist. I don't work with you. It's as easy as that. You only work with people you respect. That's how it should be everywhere with everything, you know.
Yeah. And dude, the album cover art for these albums has been fire. Like, even though like I'm not like a super album covers are so cool or whatever, but
album
like
covers are my favorite part of making an album for sure.
Interestingly, I almost forgot. Like, yo, the album cover is freaking hilarious, or the mixtape cover, dude, is hilarious. Which I forget his name.
Luke Miller.
Luke.
Lucas
Bro.
Miller is the album cover, the model for the album cover. He's also, funnily enough, for a lot of the songs, he is on the album art. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like 2020. He's on the album art. Twitter famous. The alternate cover, it has Mason and Luke in the same picture. That's the cover art for that one. And so it's like his face is kind of plastered all across my music essentially, and I'm okay with it because I have a lot of pictures of Luke, and Luke is a all-time good friend of mine. And the picture in particular that became the mixtape cover was all like, it was meant to be the cover, like since I thought
From the start.
the project. Yeah, from the start, because I saw it. What happened was, it was this class photo we took in, I think, like 2018 or something. It was a panorama, you know, and if you've ever had an iPhone, you know, the panorama is like a terrible feature. Even though it's cool, it's a terrible thing because it just distorts half the picture. And what happened is Luke's face got distorted, and they posted this picture to the school website and everything. And I just saw this distorted picture of Luke's face, and I zoomed in on it, and I showed him that, and we just laughed about it forever. And I was like, this is terrifying to look at. And so because of that, I just kept having this idea that was going to be an album cover. And sure enough, I was like, I'm going to make this a fucking thing. And, you know, it just time after time, it just kind of became the symbol for the project. And I really ended up, I'm very glad that I'm glad everything came out kind of the way I was wanting it to from the very beginning. And I mean, you know, like that, the cover was always going to be the cover. Like that's the album cover for this tape. And I like it a lot because it's not a collage. Like I do a lot of collage artwork, and it's nothing, I haven't touched it. Like it's, the only thing I did was add a little advisory in the corner so people know it's explicit content. But I mean, other than that, it's a completely untouched image of Luke's face, all distorted. And I love it. I think it's very fitting for the theme of the album.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect fit for how the project sounds. It sounds like that picture.
True, yeah. All electro and distorted.
All fucked up. All fucking weird. Yeah.
All messed up.
All fucked
Literally
up,
and
man.
metaphorically.
Yes, straight up. Literally and metaphorically.
Yeah. Well, I got another question for you, because, you know, we're talking about features.
Hit me with them.
But, you know, I was wondering, I asked Gunnar this, and he gave me an interesting question, but I also wanted to ask you, because I'm interested to see what your answer would be.
Sure.
But what artist would you want, like, what would your number one artist be that you would want as, like, a feature on a song? Or do a song with, I should say.
Okay. Wow. I've always thought of two people. One is Kendrick Lamar, because I would not even be into hip hop without Kendrick Lamar. Like, To Pimp a Butterfly was the first hip hop album I chose to listen to, you know, like it was the first one I found that really impacted me very deeply. So he's like a hero to me. So I would freaking lose my mind if I got a chance to make a song with Kendrick Lamar. Like he's the inspiration that I have for like anything I've ever done hip hop wise. Like he is the go-to. And the next person would be King Cruel, who is a punk musician that literally has been praised by the Grammys, Kanye West, Beyonce, Frank Ocean, Earl Sweatshirt, Travis Scott made a remix of one of his songs. Like, he's been praised for like years, and he's never worked with any of those people because he chooses not to. And it's like, he inspires me so much. He inspires so much of how I sound, especially on this tape. And so for me, I would love to work with King Cruel one day. Like that'd be a dream come true right there, just to be able to make any type of song with him, that'd be a dream come true.
Interesting answers. Interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't I mean, I remember hearing about King Cruel. I feel like you posted about him one time, and I felt like I've heard.
posted about him most definitely.
Yeah, and
I
I
have
felt
his
like
vinyl. I have a vinyl of his album.
you know, that's probably what if you posted that picture, I probably saw that. Yeah. Definitely wasn't expecting that one. Kendrick Lamar also did. I wasn't expecting that either, because even though you know, if I was in the game, I would also probably want to feature from Kendrick Lamar.
Well, I also got to add on, of course, JPEG Mafia. Obviously, I would love to feature on a JPEG Mafia song, or to get a feature from JPEG Mafia. I would love that. That would also be a dream for me.
That would be interesting.
That goes without saying, Yeah, for sure.
And also it's funny that I think the Kendrick one would be too, because I'm trying to think of how a song with you and Kendrick would go.
I'm not even there yet.
So yeah, but
I'm not there yet, bro.
It's interesting. Maybe you will, bro.
Maybe one day. One can dream.
Yeah, but yeah, and then I was gonna ask you, bro, who do you think's better, Earth Gang or JPEG Mafia?
They're both very different. I say JPEG Mafia out of preference, just because I like more of his songs than I like Earth Gang's. But I mean, I feel like they're so different. It's not fair to compare them. Like Earth Gang is a very specific sound. Yeah. I like both of them a lot, though. Like I will give them credit, but I have more of an attachment to JPEG Mafia. So JPEG Mafia, just by personal preference. Doesn't mean he's better. It just means it's what I prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then I guess we'll go to fan questions, because I'm pretty sure I asked you most of the questions, because there's like question I asked Doubt It, and I was like, shoot, I should have asked freaking Sean these questions. I'm like, yes. Yeah, but Gunner said for his feature, he said he would either like to do a verse with the singer from Knock Loose, I think he said. From what I
makes sense for him, because that's his hero. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we got a question. It's from the man himself. Doubt It. He's asking, what's your goober size? I don't know what that means, but
my goober size, 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, it's goober. That's my goober size.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There was one collaboration. I almost forgot. A collaboration song you made with somebody. I almost forgot, which I hopefully we'll get him on the next episode.
Ooh, is it who I think it is?
Yes. I almost forgot. Yeah, Little Bot. Another small
Stream Pink
artist,
by Little
bro.
Bot. Stream
Oh
Pink
yeah,
by Little
Stream
Bot.
Pink, bro.
Fantastic fucking EP, mate. Let me just. I'm gonna boost my boy for a second. Little Bot. He's fucking amazing. All right, I know. You're probably looking. You're like, oh, his name is Little Bot, right? Oh, he's a white kid. Oh, come on, bro. Come on. No, listen to me. Talent. All I have to say, I love his sound, like ridiculous.
Dude, he is. I
don't know why, but I love.
He's the next electronically like hip hop. I don't know. Like, dude,
I'm taking him with me. Wherever we go. We're going, going together. It's only up from here. Bro. It's only up from here.
For real,
talent.
He is like, dude. Like when
Talent.
I remember when I first heard about him. I don't know if it was from you or Gunner, was telling me about him. And I remember you posted that you did the collaboration song with him. Was it all party in the night?
Party all night. Party all night. Yeah. It's the only feature I have on any song.
Yeah.
Because he's that good.
Yeah, but and I was interested. I was like, and I was like, oh, he's probably just like another little Uzi like wannabe, like I don't know, but
no, he's actually very talented.
I know. And then I listened to all 3 of his albums and mixtape, bro.
They're all good. They're all very good.
they're all like they all got a unique sound and like
Pick is probably my favorite so far for sure. I love
Yeah,
the sound
definitely.
Of that album. I love the sound
And-
of that record. It's so unique. It's so
Mhm.
unique and so specific. And he's very lyrically talented, like a lot more than he lets on, you know. But he's
Yeah.
very lyrically talented. I think beyond a rapper, he's a very melodic and, you know, soft singer. And I think he has a lot of talent.
and also the charm, it's like
yeah, very
you could-
oddly charming, you know.
charm, yeah.
It's
And
the
it's like-
boyishness of his voice. Like it's nice. It's like endearing, you know.
Yeah, and
it.
it's
I
like
like it a lot. I like
it's-
it a lot.
it's like it grabs your attention because you're like,
Yes,
what?
it's
is
recognizable. It's
this? It's like,
recognizable.
what? Wait, what is this? It's like,
Mhm.
and it's like almost not. It's not funny, but it's like,
It's
like, wait,
strange.
what?
It's like Popsmoke's
It's strange,
voice,
yeah.
You know? In the
It's-
same way,
yeah,
that
it's
Popsmoke's
unique.
Voice is unique
Mhm.
and weird. I think Lil Bot's voice is kind of like that in a very
Yeah.
different way. Yeah, but like in the same kind of like unique and weird way.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, I like this. It's very specific, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely dude, and I saw how many plays his stuff has, and I was like, wow, okay. This man gets some
Worthy.
listens.
Worthy.
Weirdly
man.
enough, he gets some listens, and like I saw how many comments his SoundCloud songs had. I'm like, bro, what?
He's good. He's good. He deserves them.
I know.
good.
So I will hopefully, sadly, have to change up our date when we're doing it. So I'm trying to make sure Zane can be in the meeting. So in the interview. So
Totally
yeah,
get that.
it's just
Totally get
it's
that.
just weird to try and get all this together. But hopefully we'll have him on.
Hopefully he will be there soon to
Yeah.
partake of the interview.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so but I thought that collaboration was interesting because like you said,
Awesome.
it's your only collaboration, and it's interesting your different sound on that song.
Mhm.
It's more like low key. It's like kind of like your older stuff, like the way you were slower singing and
Very
talking.
different.
It's
flow,
kind of
yeah.
like it's kind of like you were trying to like not match his, but it's kind of like, all right, let me like try to match like this little slow, like, you know, flow, but you know, it's still kind of like a bop a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure. Just want it to go off in some way.
yeah, but very interesting collaboration, and I've listened to his
Thank
other
you.
features, which are good too. Yeah, so
He's a very talented young man, and
No.
I really like his music, and I'm really excited to see
Yeah.
where he goes from here, for
yeah,
sure.
I didn't even know he was still in high school.
Homie
or
is young.
or I didn't
Homie is
know. I
young,
didn't. Yeah, so
But he is very talented. Has a lot of potential. So
yeah, I'm interested
keep an eye
to
out
see
for
where
that
he.
kid.
I'm
keep
I
an eye
know.
out
I'm
for that
interested
kid.
to see where he goes. I really want to.
I'm taking him with me.
Yeah,
Take it wherever he goes.
I don't blame you.
Take him with
Yeah, I'm very interested to pick his
Yes.
brain on, especially his beats. Like I saw like
His beats are very cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm not sure where he
so,
gets them, but like they're made for him, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I saw that he had a little video of him on Logic. I think it was Logic. Maybe it's I can't think of the other beat maker, music producing.
He's very
tool out there,
talented.
but
He's very
but yeah,
talented.
but very
he's
talented
a good producer,
dude. Very,
good artist. Yeah.
yeah. So hopefully we'll have him on next.
Hopefully.
Wow. This is 3.5 hours long.
that noise?
Crazy interview. Great interview
Crazy,
though.
man. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
You
you to
covered
have
the
back
tape.
on, my
Oh,
man.
of course, anytime.
And
Anytime ever. Just never talk to me.
yeah. Are there any last before I do my quote of the episode? Is there any last words or if you want to shout out anybody, or even though we did a lot of that during this episode, or
Yeah,
any comments you want to have,
Black Lives Matter. Stream the .comEra. All of the digital sales for the .comEra, my tape, go toward the national bailout, Breonna Taylor's GoFundMe, and the if I remember it correctly, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They all go to there,
80% of all the stream money I get goes to all of their. So, you know, if you want a reason to stream it, or even if you don't like it, it goes towards a good cause. So, beyond that, shout out to Doubt It Gunner. He is an incredibly good friend of mine. We are going to be performing live together. Expect more music from me and him. Go follow him at Doubted Georgia. He's very talented, he's a child prodigy, so he's a genius. He's just a genius. He's weird, but I love him. I love him in every way. Shout out to Mason Rawlings. Go follow him. Shout out to my friend Eden. If he had an Instagram still, I would tag him. I'd plug him. But yeah, shout out to Eden Myers. Shout out to Armando. Go follow him at Astromondo. Shout out to Devonte, Cantrell, D1, and Open, the band Open. They're incredible. Devonte's incredible. They're in general an incredible band full of great people, and you should go listen to their music. So shout out to Open, and shout out to Devonte, and shout out to Jackson at Gamma Punch, who is probably my favorite local musician ever. And shout out Little Pot. Shout out Little Pot. And lastly, shout out to you for listening to this podcast, and shout out to this lovely man in the sunglasses.
Looking like an Antifa.
Yeah, looking like he's a fascist, or just a man that loves to ride a motorcycle. You know, whatever you really want to think he is. He looks like he owns a Harley, so you know, it is what it is.
Big dick energy, you know.
Highly small PP energy. Stream my mixtape, please, God, and yeah. That's all right. I love you. Good night.
There's so awesome. Just got, quote of the episode, feel like this relates to you and to people listening. Hopefully they will take this and appreciate it.
Go for it.
By a very empowering woman.
Ooh, perfect.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So, take that as you will. Hopefully, Sean Blanks, you will take that, you will believe in yourself.
I will, FLEXBOY.
I saw that you weren't looking well. I saw you were posting today, hopefully keep your head up. You got this, bro.
Head up, bitch. Keep my head up.
You.
Keep my head up.
That's your new that's a new hook. Hopefully all my listeners, hopefully you're doing well. We're looking forward to your future. We love you.
I'm delicious.
And yeah, that quote was by Eleanor Roosevelt, empowering woman.
Shout out to Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yeah, so
go follow her.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Ray. Rest in peace, Grogs. Rest in peace, Jared.
Yeah.
All those people. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to all the fallen,
Mm-hmm.
all the greats.
All the homies.
All the artists, yeah. Just want to end it, remember, Flex Gang, stay on flexing, all right? Gotta get them gains, okay? It's a FLEXBOY. I'll see y'all. Peace.